The Toronto Raptors, what a game from the Toronto Raptors. They kept it interesting against a team that, frankly, their season's pretty much over. Shout outs to all of you, man. Wow. What a game. The Toronto Raptors come up huge. This game was so messy on so many levels. The Toronto Raptors had so many defensive miscues. They had a lot of offensive problems in this game. They looked sluggish at times, but they turned up the pressure, and the Raptors continue to come up in clutch moments. Those clutch moments are going to pay big dividends down the stretch. I know Darko Rajakovic is going to say this in the huddle, so I will say it to you that this is good for the Toronto Raptors to face competition that is battle tested. Pascal Siakam, Benedict Mathurin, TJ McConnell. These are guys who are good basketball players on a very bad team that doesn't have any depth. And frankly, the Indiana Pacers are not bad because of a lack of talent, but largely they're bad by design. They're like the Toronto Raptors were last year. But there's kind of something funny happening because it's almost like these two teams have changed places. Because last year it was the Indiana Pacers in the playoffs coming up in all the huge clutch games. It was them hitting miracle buzzer beaters. And tonight, with 0.6 seconds to go, spoiler alert for anyone who didn't watch it, Brandon Ingram took Pascal Siakam one-on-one and just laid it into him. Almost every point down the stretch came from Scotty and BI, Scotty and BI, Scotty and BI, and they looked like the best duo in the Eastern Conference. It looked every bit the part. And if you skip this game thinking you played the record, like this is not going to be an interesting game, this was a very interesting game. This was a game full of, the Raptors might lose, to, I can't believe they're going to lose this, to, oh my God, they're really going to win this, to, oh my God, they might actually lose this. This was a game of runs. This game included a 22-0 run that extended from one quarter to the next. This also included a momentous comeback. Shout outs to the Indiana Pacers for making this way more interesting than it really had to be. And yes, first of all, shout outs to Karen Hall. Thank you so much, one, for this members chat. Also for the surprise birthday gift last night. That was very nice of you. Thank you so very much. To the people who've reached out today, I apologize. I have not gotten back to anyone. My sister called and I didn't pick up the phone, and I had to call her back like 6 hours later. I have been swamped today, but I'm going to get back to everybody tonight, tomorrow. Thank you so much for showering, me with a wonderful birthday. And thank you to Pepperjack, as always, for the memberships, PENSARE Basketball memberships. Let's count them up. I like counting victories, okay? This is my favorite pastime. Sometimes when I'm a little bit like maybe my day's not going so well, I just go to ESPN.com, no free promo, and I would just go to the Raptors schedule and I will look at all these green W's. W, 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 W. Oh my God, so many W's. I run out of breath counting the W's. That's how many W's the Raptors have pulled off since that monumental game against the Cleveland Cavaliers to start the NBA Cup on Halloween. The Raptors started this on Halloween, man. They have lost one game since Halloween, and I could argue they probably shouldn't have lost that game and wouldn't have lost that game if they didn't end up on a second night of a back-to-back and didn't rest Jakob Poeltl and start 6'8" Scotty Barnes against Joel Embiid. And speaking of Joel, where has Joel Embiid been since that game? It's almost like he just came out of nowhere to ruin this Raptors potential, 15-game win streak. Count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my God. The Toronto Raptors are on a roll. And no, they're not winning beautiful games, okay? So some of these games are sloppy. They're ugly. The process sucks. The ball sticks too much. This is not a team, in my opinion, that is playing its best basketball. But I mentioned it in the last game. Win some of these games ugly, man. You shot in the 30s in the first half from the field. You shot 17% from three in the first half. If I'm not mistaken, it was 14% or 17% in the first half from three. Let's look at the team stats for a second here, please. You shoot 39% from the field and 19% from three and win a basketball game. When's the last time a team has won a game shooting this poorly from the field? I cannot remember it. I genuinely cannot. What the hell is this? The Toronto Raptors are not a lockdown defensive team. They're not some amazing defensive team. They're top 10-ish. But my God, how do you shoot 19% from three and 39% from the field while the other team shoots 45% from the field and 33% from three and win the game? That seems mathematically impossible. Well, for starters, you get 12 offensive rebounds. You win the rebound battle. That's a good start. Shout outs to Scotty Barnes. Shout outs to Jakob Poeltl. Shout outs to everyone who grabbed offensive rebounds tonight. You get to the line a little bit more. Referees were a little bit weird and stingy with fouls, and then suddenly, like, very, very picky with fouls. Brandon Ingram just holding Jay Huff on his back, that's a foul. Pascal Siakam breathed on the player, that's a foul. Holding off ball, that's a foul. Sandro Mamukelashvili goes to the rim back-to-back times. No foul. No foul. The referees were so random with the fouls. The Toronto Raptors don't win basketball games when they have 18 assists. That just does not happen. How often did this team ever have 18 assists last year? It was 30, 30, 30. This is the top assisting team in the league, one of the top three, and has been since last year. Even when they were terrible, they couldn't make shots. They were still top in the assists. What happened to my beloved move the ball Toronto Raptors? Well, right now, they are playing weirdly playoff basketball. This is a 97-95 victory in which offensive rebounds, grit, and very timely defense really won you this game. And it was not a perfect game. There are many players who really struggled tonight. The Raptors win the points in the paint battle. Shout outs to them. They led by as many as 13 and then promptly gave up the lead immediately. This is a very interesting game. There's going to be a lot to talk about. The call-in link is in the description below. So shout outs to you if you would like to call in. We will take callers today for sure. Shout outs to the homie Nicked. The Raptors did not play great, but part of why was the case is just the Pacers had one of their better games of the season. I agree with you on that one. I thought that they did a nice job of taking the Raps out of their pet actions all game. I also think the Raptors screwed themselves over many times. There are so many bad decisions today in transition, defensively, miscommunications. That's one part of it. But hey, man, you held the team to 95 points that was regularly putting up 130 points last year. Not the same team, I understand. But still, this defense was not necessarily as big a problem today as offense. And yeah, sure, you can make a case like, oh, maybe the Raptors should have won by 40 tonight. Yeah. But honestly, when you play tired and you play sloppy basketball and your shooters can't hit shots because everybody's legs are dead for some reason, you're not going to win games by 30 to 40. Can we be happy, though, that the Raptors found themselves in a hole, gave up the lead in the second quarter? I will remind you right here. The score was 48-38. The Pacers led by 10 with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. And then in came Scotty Barnes, and basically the defense, the offense, and basically everything about that game, the complexion of the game, Jacoby Walter, everything just changed. And then the Raptors were up 67-54, and that is the tail end of what was effectively a up and down game. I mean, this is the type of game you want to see. The ups and downs of, we're going to lose. Like, we're really tired. I think we as Raptor fans are kind of expecting that at one of these points, we're going to drop a game. The Pistons just ended their win streak tonight, so the Raptors now have the longest win streak in the Eastern Conference. Let that sink in for a second. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Damn. That's pretty great. Right now, it's possible the Minnesota Timberwolves, who haven't beaten a good team all year, are possibly on the verge of upsetting the OKC Thunder. That could happen tonight. It's possible. The Pelicans, who are generally a pretty bad team, could possibly be on the verge of beating the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know. All these things could happen. But it is nuts. I mean, we just saw the Atlanta Hawks get smoked by the Washington Wizards. Threes are the great equalizer. Everything can be changed with threes. Shout outs to Cass2929. As always, happy 38th birthday, Rob. Thank you very, very much, sir. Appreciate that. Let's take a look at who did what, man. And then we'll get into the film breakdown. And if you'd like to call in, as I mentioned, link is in the description below. Okay. So in terms of overall games, man, Pascal Siakam sucked. Like, I'll just say it straight up. He sucked. He did a decent job at times defensively, especially on the post, mid to later in the game. Turnovers were sloppy. Offensive process sucked. couldn't make a free throw, went 1 for 4 from the line. He ends the game. This is a max player, by the way, with 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists and 2 steals. He was a -8. They made their momentous run back into this game with him on the bench because he picked up 4 fouls and he played the entire second half with 4 fouls, picked up his fifth in the fourth quarter. I think overall, yikes, right? Like really bad process, man. And Scotty really, really just took it to him, man. Took it to him every single time. Took him to it. And I think it's very poetic. I think it's very poetic. Let me make myself large when I say this. It's very poetic that Brandon Ingram hit that shot over Pascal Siakam because in a very, very real way, they were traded for each other. Everything that you basically got back in that Pascal Siakam trade was then leveraged forward to get Brandon Ingram. That's what you got out of it. You got Jacoby Walter, who played amazing, by the way, tonight. Shout out to Jacoby. You got Ochai Agbaji, who might be on his way to China right now. Shout outs to Ochai Agbaji. And you have Brandon Ingram. That's what you got for Pascal Siakam. I like the trade. Shout outs to Pascal. Pascal's a much better player than he played like tonight, but the Raptors defense was able to hone in on him. Andrew Nembhard, really tough game. Homecoming game for him. He is a Canadian kid, but 2 for 10 from the field. The Raptors did a good job. Where the Raptors did not do a good job is TJ McConnell. Granted, 8 for 17 shooting. They let him shoot threes all night. Dare shots. He went 0 for 4. It could have been worse, I guess. They let Ben Shepherd get going. That second unit really dug them out of the hole. That second unit plus Isaiah Jackson really dug them out of the hole. Benedict Mathurin, tough-ish game, including that final shot to potentially win the game. Didn't do it for me. Not really big Ben Mathurin fan, but this is also a homecoming for him. He is a Canadian, he's a Canadian kid. He's from Montreal. So, this game has a special meaning for the Indiana Pacers. They have a chance to play spoiler here. The Raptors have already advanced to the quarterfinals, but they have a chance here by winning this game to host the quarterfinals. They complete the NBA Cup schedule 4-0 with the largest differential in their group, so they will definitely host. We're going to see an NBA Cup actual game, not a qualifier, an actual game in Toronto. Shout out to you if you already got tickets for that. That's going to be dope. So overall, Jarris Walker, I think the Raptors just missed him, man. I don't think he was as good as, his numbers suggest, 13 points, 9 rebounds, but he really kept him in the game early. And Ben Mathurin, just a shot making 5 for 15 on 15 points. It really was TJ McConnell, man. It's hard to just point to a single thing. Jay Huff, decent game. Overall, very decent game from Jay Huff. He was a huge part of that comeback as well, 28 minutes off the bench. For the Toronto Raptors, a very different Scotty Barnes tonight. Number 1, getting to the line 14 times. Shout outs to you, Mr. Scotty Barnes. Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes combined for 50 points tonight. 50 points, 18 rebounds, 4 assists, all of which were Scotty, 7 turnovers. A lot of questionable decisions by these two tonight. Ingram had the 2 steals and the 1 block. Dope. That's amazing. Scotty had the 5 offensive rebounds. They did it together. They were clearly the 2 best players on the court. It was not particularly close. You cannot tell me that you watched this game tonight and you are an alien coming from another planet and you just watch these players and you were like, you know what? That Siakam, he's better than these guys. No. Qualitatively speaking, Ingram and Barnes were on another planet. They dominated this game in every facet. Barnes got his 24 points on 12 attempts. Shout out to Scotty Barnes. Ingram got his 23 on a pretty high volume. Some very questionable shots, some really good shots, some very good passes, some very questionable passes. A lot to look at, good and bad in Ingram's game. Colin Murray-Boyle starts the game, gets the hook 3 minutes into this game. He ends the game with 0 points on 0 for 2. Both shots were threes. He is -4 in a game which you won barely. Jamal Shed, 2 points tonight, 3 assists. Not his strongest game, but I think he played overall well. It's kind of weird to say that a guy who had 2 points and 3 assists played well, especially when he had a -13. I don't think he was the reason that those lineups with him were bad. I think some of the lineups that he played in were bad because of other players who were on his lineups. And I think some of it was just momentum, guys not getting fouls. You know what I mean? Sandro Mamukelashvili goes to the line for those 2 shots where he quote unquote missed. The numbers look very different. But overall, I like Jamal Shedd's overall process. Grady Dick was not on the verge of having a good game, left this game after hitting his head, really nasty fall, didn't come back into this game. So that put the pressure on one of my favorite players, Mr. Jacoby Walter, who ended up starting the second half and honestly had himself, is it weird to say, probably his most complete game? He was everywhere. He was everywhere, man. He attacked the rim. He hit his threes. He was timely. He was clutch. He got into the ball defensively. He took that big charge. You know, shout outs to him, man. Jacoby was awesome tonight. I loved his game tonight. Sandro was also solid. You know, didn't make as many shots. Couldn't hit a 3 tonight. Fine. Perfectly solid game. Emmanuel Quickly was dumpster fire garbage tonight. Absolutely bullshit basketball. And if Emmanuel Quickly, I tell you, if Brandon Ingram does not hit that shot and the Raptors somehow lose this game, the title of this live is Emmanuel Quickly sucks at basketball. Yo, what the? It ain't the 6 for 19. I can give a shit less. It ain't the back-to-back misses down the stretch. I really couldn't give a shit less. I don't care about that. It's his process. He just hangs on to the ball for entirely too long and then just over dribbles the air out of the basketball and just makes really, really dumb plays. I didn't like his process. I didn't like his floor setting, but shout outs to Emmanuel Quickly. I hope you shoot better, man, because the last 3 games have been really tough. From a process perspective, tough. Jakob Poeltl, solid game overall. Huge block down the stretch to erase that Pascal Siakam. Clear. You know, there are blocks. I want to say this. Big. There are blocks that are like early in the clock. Guy has a jumper. It might go in, it might not, and you block it. That's a block. That's a block, right? There are also blocks where you allow the guy to go ahead of you so you can get the block. That's another type of block. The very special blocks to me are when somebody else gets so beat and so destroyed because there's a miscommunication or a breakdown or someone just crosses someone over and you recover on a guy who's not your man and erase a guaranteed 2 points. And when that play happens with less than a minute to go in a close game, it holds extra value. To me, that one Jakob Poeltl block is like 5 blocks. It's basically 5 blocks. I'm so sad I didn't capture that on video. It was a huge block. Definitely go check out the highlights. It will be on there 100%. Huge, huge. Scotty also mixed game, honestly. So I'm not even gonna act like this was some amazing Scotty game. He had a couple like turnovers, travel back to back, like 2 travels on a Pascal Siakam post up, dude. Some really just not super great plays, but overall Scotty played great. I think Scotty was the Raptors' best player tonight, which he usually is. Defensively, offensively, just all over the place. Really good controlling tempo. I really didn't like that lineup that the Raptors chose to run with. I believe it was like 8 minutes, 9 minutes in the fourth quarter, and they were down 2 or 3, and they went with Scotty to the bench. And I was like, whoo, Darko playing with fire right now. And I think it was Ochai Agbaji who came into that game at that point. At that point, was it Ochai who was in the game? It was tough, man. It was tough. Ochai Agbaji had a really rough game. Let's look at the film breakdown, man. I think the film is always useful overall to our understanding of what actually happened, and being able to look at these plays sometimes can allow us to see maybe what the players couldn't see in real time. And I will always caution, it's much easier to do what I do than it is to do what the players do. Making these sort of armchair, like this is the right pass, this is what you should have done stuff, it's much easier. I've played basketball enough of my life to know that these things are not always evident in real time. I get that. But when you're a high level basketball player, some of these mistakes are unquestionably like unforgivable. Okay, here, Scotty Barnes, just bully ball on Pascal. Do this all night, man. Quicker, though. When he starts playing with it a little bit too much, that's when you get in trouble. And you know what? Scotty wasn't alone. I don't like this play, largely because when Mathurin takes this away, you gotta spin baseline or attack in a different way. You're not moving him. He is strong as hell, and he's lower than you. So this is a weirdly it's a weird matchup for Brandon Ingram, who has a high center of gravity. Like, he's not moving anybody like that. He's going to have to get, like, you think he's small, but he's actually stronger than you. You know what I mean? So you're not going to get distance on him. So you're just going to have to turn and shoot over him. And here Ingram gets a little flustered, wants to get a little bit deeper. And here he just tries to pump fake bait. When it doesn't, like, when you get into this position, you need to pass. You still got 9 seconds on the clock. There's no reason to drag your foot here and travel. And he shifts his pivot foot and he travels. Totally needless turnover, not necessary. I said I love this defense by Ingram. I hate the transition opportunity turning into a 3 for Grady. And again, real time, maybe this sounds like a really great idea. Grady Dick for 3 sounds like a great idea. But the way Grady's been shooting it, first of all, this play right here, Ingram breaks up what would have been a guaranteed 2 points. Guaranteed. That is a guaranteed 2 points for Jay Huff. Ingram destroys that play, breaks this apart, and here comes transition. Now, what do I want him to do here? I want him to invite the defender and then pass to Jacoby. And if that pass is taken away by McConnell, then I have the option of a Grady 3. Ingram is already thinking Grady 3, like right here. He's already thinking, let me see if Grady can get some distance from McConnell and I'll throw it to him. And I think Ingram in transition was a little bit of a mixed bag today because I think he made the wrong decision a few too many times for my liking. Here, you're going to pass to Grady. Now, if you're going to ask Darko Rajakovic under oath, he's going to tell you we live with an open Grady 3, but not when an open layup was the alternative. I don't have a problem with this shot in the half court. I don't have a problem with this shot at all. Grady Dick with an open 3 is a good shot in the half court, but not in transition. When you're and IQ does this a lot too, and it just kind of bothers me, right? Here, if you wait a little bit longer on this, right? If you take this and you just go, don't pass here, because this is a 3-on-2 and it's about to be a 4-on-2 with Mamu. You're bailing the defense out. You have to see this. You got 4-on-2, right? 4-on-2. 4-on-2. There's no reason that a 4-on-2 should ever result in a missed shot. This is basic basketball. Okay. So it frustrates me when this happens because I do see this in real time. Whether I would see this if I was running the break or not is irrelevant. He's a professional basketball player. You should be able to see this. You definitely should. Okay. Okay. Now, how often have you heard me criticize Scottie Barnes for missing an open shooter? Not often. But this is going to be one of 2 or 3 critical Scottie Barnes clips. And just because the Raptors won this game does not mean there is not stuff to be a little bit critical about. These are all learning experiences, both for the Raptors and for our community. So let's take a look at this here. Shed, slip, Barnes, the handle. Okay. Eesh. The handle. And he's thinking likely thinking pass to Jamal Shed here. But why? Grady is wide open in the corner. And if you're Scottie Barnes, you definitely see that, right? The problem here is the placement of everybody is just a little bit congested. So before you make this move to drive, you need to do something to shift the defense. You're not good enough, quite frankly. I'm not even trying to be rude about this. You're not good enough to attack 4 defenders sitting in the middle. You need to do something. Side, top, side, swing, pass the ball too quickly. But the problem is sometimes you pass the ball too quickly, you're not going to get it back. And this is why I think sometimes Quickly's ball hogging ways are so suffocating for this team, because you have to have trust. I have to trust right now that if I run a dribble handoff for you and they miscommunicate, I slip, you're going to pass over the defense. But you're not. You're never going to pass over the defense because you're thinking about your own shot, or you're thinking already, let me get the ball back to Jamal Shed. Like, it's frustrating. So here, Scottie does the low IQ thing, which is he attacks 2 defenders on a stance, on a set defense, and then tries to pass while already suspended midair, and honestly bending backwards like he's Neo from the Matrix. And this turns into a turnover, and this turns into 2 points for the Indiana Pacers. And when points are hard to come by for the Pacers, you don't want to fuel their offense with transition. I said Immanuel Quickley is legally blind and Scotty Barnes is legally insane. Okay, watch this play. Watch Quickley here. Quickley is weirdly enough pointing to Scotty. Okay, so Scotty Barnes. Wait a second. I started this play too early. Okay. This is the start of the play. Do you see an easy pass to Scotty Barnes? Because I do. And it's a wide open three. Wide open three, man. And this is not the first time, second time, third time, or fourth time tonight that Immanuel Quickley would miss wide open shooters. Instead, you pass to Ochai. Ochai passes to Scotty. And Scotty tries to end Jay Huff's life. Very good sign early for Scotty Barnes, in my opinion. I said, we need a wake-up call. This is bad. Here, Mamu gets an earful from from Darko for not getting back. Ingram does the right thing. Mamu does the wrong thing. Isaiah Jackson slips it. Wide open dunk. Again, if you don't make these mistakes, which frankly, you probably shouldn't be making these mistakes, and the Raptors have gone plenty of games while limiting their defensive mistakes, they probably don't crack 80 points tonight. Okay? Now here I say, nice pass, Kyle Lowry. Look at this. Look at how quick this ball gets into his hand. Okay. Look at the clock. Look at the shot clock. Okay. When does he grab it? When does he get it? Exactly at 19 seconds. How long before it's out of his hands? It's already out of his hands before 19 seconds is up. It was less than a second. He was able to come off to grab the ball. This was one of the fastest. Oh my God. It's so impressive. So impressive. And the caption is worth it. I said, nice pass, Kyle Lowry. Just beautiful. I said, Scotty forcing it. Move the ball. Okay. Ingram is not the only person who forces shots. RJ is not the only one who forces shots. Scotty did it too tonight. And so he gets called. Here. You're stuck. You're stuck. Once that initial move didn't work and your counter didn't work, you're stuck. And you've got 11 seconds left on the clock. And there's absolutely zero reason to force this. You can reset it. But again, Scotty is losing faith in Immanuel Quickley and Brandon Ingram to get him the ball back. And that's unfortunate. I think these guys need to have a better conversation. These guys need to have a serious conversation about trust, because these are the types of plays that teams that do not trust each other very much make. I said the comeback starts with smart basketball. Yes, it does. So we are in the second quarter. Here comes Scotty Barnes. And what feels like the 500th time gets Jakob Poeltl the wide open layup. Perfect basketball here. And then a few plays earlier. Again, Raptors down 11. Scotty, just early, simple pass to Jacoby Walter for one of his 3 3-pointers tonight. Shout out to Jacoby, man. And shout out to the 570 of you in here. Please hit like on this video. It helps get the word out. I'm seeing the happy birthdays, y'all. Thank you so much. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you. Okay, simple basketball. Let's get to the second half here. A lot of clips, man. A lot of clips, especially down the stretch, of good and bad basketball. I said we got to be cursed. If there's one criticism of Jacoby Walter tonight, is just he couldn't finish. He couldn't finish around the rim. There's a couple finishes down low. He finally did finish 1 or 2 eventually, but man, for the most part, it was a really rough night around the paint. And here, Brandon Ingram, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. Look, me personally, right now, if I'm Ingram, I'm going either all the way and I'm trusting Jacoby is going to get Jay Huff occupied, or I'm passing to Scotty Barnes right here. Right here. The shot blockers on the other side. Nembhard is too small to deal with Barnes going downhill. The right and high IQ play is don't you dare pull up right now because you are 4-on-2. And this is the second time that Ingram is handling the ball on a 4-on-2 fast break, and the Toronto Raptors do not get a bucket. Now, you might say, well, this is fine because, hey, that's a dunk for Jacoby Walter. But now you have to go against a shot blocker, and Jay Huff is a really good shot blocker. So, no, it's not great. Know your personnel, man. You cannot keep fucking up 4-on-2 fast breaks. Jeez. I said, if basketball is a mental game, Scotty Barnes is dominating Pascal Siakam tonight. Vet move to get Siakam his 4th foul here. Absolutely. Ingram plays a little bit with the ball. Here, misses the shot. Wait, was that an Immanuel Quickley shot? I think that was Emmanuel Quickley. So Emmanuel Quickley takes the shot. Or was it Ingram took the shot? Somebody took the shot. Barnes is wrestling with Siakam, exaggerates the contact a little bit. He, I believe, was the one who looped him up, right? Someone saying that's Jacoby's fault. What is Jacoby's fault? That he can't make a dunk over Jay Huff? I mean, did anyone tell you that Jacoby Walter was Hakeem Olajuwon? Or, you know, like Jay Huff is a really tough player to score on and the rim. Like Jay Huff is a really good rim protector. He may not be a great defender overall, but if you plant him underneath the basket and say, Jacoby, go up and score on him, come on, man. That's not easy to do. You're not putting him in the greatest position to do that. So here we go. Scotty Barnes draws the fourth foul on Pascal Siakam. And I said, and this play just happened right before the half. But here, watch Pascal Siakam thinking he had a young whippersnapper on him, Jacoby Walter. Walter just plays straight up without fouling here. I don't see a single foul on that play. Siakam just smokes the layup. And here we get the ball to Jamal Shed, who gets the ball to Jacoby Walter. And what I think most of the Raptors in the starting lineup do here is they try to score. And Jacoby Walter is not the greatest passer, might be one of the weakest passers on this team. And he is not going to, because Scotty Barnes, you can see, is doing this. He's saying, give it to me. And Jacoby Walter is one of those rare teammates that when his franchise player asks for the fucking ball, he gives him the fucking ball. Throws it high, away from Siakam, and he gets in an easy 2 points. Shout out to Jacoby, man. Putting it on both ends. Love it. And I said, Jacoby, Raptors look different this half. And this is where the Raptors went on that 22-0 run, extending back from the second quarter all the way to the third quarter. Here, it's just a 3-point game. It's anyone's game, right? And here, Emmanuel Quickley drives, a little drop pass to Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl sees Jacoby Walter, shot ready, wide open, boom, 3. Also, I didn't clip this play, but there was a play where Ben Shepherd got wide open and Scotty Barnes just kind of waved him off and allowed him to hit a 3. I was not a huge fan of that either. So no one is saying Scotty played a perfect defensive game either. I said Jacoby looks different this half. Absolutely. Okay. I said the beautiful hoops, the Toronto Raptors. I forgot to clip the audio. I forgot to mute the audio out of this. My girlfriend was baking a cake, so there's a very good chance there's going to be some cake audio here. Hold on. Let me see if there's some cake audio. You can hear her like with the with the spatula and shit. Dope. Okay, amazing. I'm going to delete that because that sounds weird. Okay, Pascal is getting exposed. Absolutely, man. This just looks bad. Honestly, this just looks bad. Here, you take Emmanuel Quickley one-on-one. And honestly, man, I'm going to tell you this. This is the kind of shit that drove me crazy about Siakam when he played for the Raptors. He pretty much cut this stuff out last year when he was playing for Indiana. He was like just a lot more reserved about some of the dumb low IQ plays. And Siakam isn't a low IQ player, but on plays like this, you don't see the help at all, bro. Like, you're not even aware that this guy exists. Like, he's still thinking like this is exactly when Siakam registers that there's a player. He's already lost the ball. Yes, there was a stat, and this is why sometimes let's call it spreadsheet FC drives me absolutely crazy, where like Pascal Siakam is the most doubled player on drives. I'm like, you stat nerds. Watch the games. He's driving into double teams. That's not double teams. That's just stupid basketball. Oh, congested paint. Let me go there. Let me go into 2 players. Like, no, man. The double team is not coming to you. You going to the double team. And here, the double team came to you. But honestly, you were already kind of driving into a double team here. Look at this. What were you doing? What were you thinking here? Who goes the way of Ingram here? First of all, Ingram is not the guy you want to attack. And you want to go Ben Mathurin side. Now here, you should be thinking past to Ben Mathurin because the defender is not going to recover in time, but you don't even know the defender has left Ben Mathurin. No idea. No court awareness, bro. And this is why I say, like, there's levels to passers in the NBA. And I said, there's no way y'all think the Raptors lost the Siakam trade, right? There's no way y'all think the Raptors lost the Siakam trade. Look at this. BI just gets his hands on that. I don't know what the referees were thinking or if they were smoking rocks tonight, but how the hell did they call that out on Brandon Ingram? Like, do these referees need like some sort of physics lessons? Like, yo, Brandon Ingram's pushing the ball this way. Siakam's pushing the ball this way. The ball goes this way. How is it out on? Just crazy. I can't believe the Raptors had to waste a challenge on that bullshit. Okay, now, Brandon Ingram driving crazy sometimes. Love the player, hate the process sometimes. Can't stand it. This is like, look at the defense, okay? Look at the defense. What's the right play? Chat, let me know. What's the right play here? What would you do? What would you do if you were Ingram right here? Right? Is this that's a good idea? Now I'm curious, why would you pass to see? Oh, okay. Now, I'm wondering if y'all know why you would pass to Scotty. Country Kong with the dumbass response. Are you sure you love the player? Yes, I'm sure I love the player. Absolutely positive I love Brandon Ingram. Very much on record. In fact, I will let you know that 4 years ago, I went on an unnamed Raptors podcast and was asked if Pascal Siakam was a franchise player. And I very vehemently didn't made a case. I'm sorry, not vehemently. I very strongly made a case, boldly proclaimed that I didn't think that he was a better player than Brandon Ingram. So, like, come on now. Come on. Happy G-Day, Rob. A real one's birthday today. Wishing you the best health, wealth, and prosperity always. Let's go, Raptors. Appreciate you. Kihan, thank you so much. Always. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you very, very much. Big day. And honestly, like, yo, Scotty picked a really good day to have 24 points, man. That was great to see. And Brandon Ingram picked a hell of a day to hit a buzzer beater, man. That was amazing. That was awesome. Okay. So the reason you passed Scotty here, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, as a casual ball watcher for the last 30 years, this is what I would say. Sorry, that was a little bit sarcastic. I'm above sarcasm. The reason you passed Scotty is because you've already drawn the only rim protector on the court, and he's not anywhere close enough to recover to Scotty. Scotty has got his hands up. You can see it. He's looking at Ingram, eyeing at Ingram, but you can't yell at Ingram, right? If you yell at him, the defense shifts. So you're giving him the opportunity and trusting him to make the right play here. Now, why do this? I will never understand. Either drive right, allow Scotty or Yak to cut behind you and then dump the pass off for an easy 2, or give it to Scotty to create off that and then allow Scotty to whip it across to Emmanuel quickly when Jay Huff has already committed. Here, you're making this too easy. Quickly is not Steph Curry, so he doesn't have the load. He just, first of all, bad process. Just take the shot, man. Honestly, at this point, just take the fucking shot. Instead, what do? You just pass it up. And then you know what that play ended up turning into? That play ended up turning into a reset where Scotty got the ball in a half-court possession, and then I'm traveling. And it's just like, you just cost the dude 2 points. You cost the guy 2 points because you don't want to pass him the ball in the first place, and then you pass him up the ball later for a way dumber shot, like a way harder shot. Like, it's just a mistake on a mistake. You see how many times the Raptors do like good thing on good thing, like Scotty will pass to Shed, who will immediately connect to Mamu. That's like good on good. When Ingram, Barnes, and Quickly sometimes get involved, it's sometimes like bad on bad on bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's bad on bad, right? It's not just one. It's all sometimes. Like, sometimes it's all of them. So we got to cut this shit out. Like, there's no way that you are missing a dude whose closest rim defender is 6'2" Andrew Nembhard. There's no way. 6'3" Andrew Nembhard. There's no way that you don't trust Scotty to attack Andrew Nembhard downhill. Like, it's just nuts. Like, that play drove me crazy. Now, I said BID. from BI3 to BID. Look at this. Jamal Shed is beat. This is a guaranteed 2 points. And Brandon Ingram said, nuh-uh. Now, look, I will say this from a empathetic standpoint. These are sometimes plays that Ingram has not made in the past. Could be injuries, could be injury worries, could be thinking like if I go up and I come down, might get hurt. He has made these plays every game for the Raptors. His ability to sit in the gaps, get on the glass, block shots, recover defensively, compete defensively, throw his arms, at the ball when it's coming his way. These things are so underrated. And I know the defensive analytics don't love him, but I have just been so encouraged by his defensive process. And here, Brandon Ingram is going to do he's going to utilize that 6'9", 7'3" wingspan. And he is just going to spark offense for the Toronto Raptors, and they go down the other way. Okay. I said Ochai Agbaji, China flag. No offense to China, man. I'm not even trying to be rude about it. But, first of all, Emmanuel Quickly, shout outs to you. I don't really have a problem with this. Defense not guarding you, pull up. This one, I don't care. So if you think I'm judging Emmanuel Quickly for makes and misses, I'm not. I don't care that he took this shot. I don't care that he missed the shot. I will defend him taking this shot any day of the week. The defense is not on you. You don't have numbers in transition. The defense is already recovered. Your only option really right now is Mamu and him, and they're too close together, and Ochai Agbaji cutting backdoor. So if maybe you were Steve Nash, you might manipulate the defense a little bit and get Ochai a layup, but you're not Steve Nash, so I have no problem with you taking the shot. Raptors are out 4, time and score. This is a home run type of play, and if you hit this shot, 82-75, game starting to get close. It's like 3 possessions. You missed this shot. Now we go down the other way. Okay. Jamison Battle, shout outs to him. And here, I think Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel Quickly do a very good job of forcing this miss. It's not just Scotty. Of course, it is Scotty. It is also, Benedict Mathurin smoking a layup. But it is really Emmanuel Quickly doing that first job. Now here, you give the ball to Ochai Agbaji. Brace yourselves, because this is about to be one of the dumbest plays you've ever seen in your life. And I'm not even gassing it. This might be right up there as one of the craziest charge calls I've ever seen. I don't even want to press play because it's just going to make me so mad. Like, what the hell? This is not real life, yo. You just bowled him over. This is not bowling. This is basketball. This is not bowl skip ball. What the hell are you doing? That's TJ McConnell. First of all, the charge happens here. I don't know if Shaqtin' a Fool still exists, but this play is 100% Shaqtin'. Dude, this can't be real life. Like, okay, sorry. Hold on. Can we watch this in slow motion? Let me slow this down for you. It gets funnier. Once you're done crying about it, it's just funny. Okay, watch this. And you know what the best part is? He thought he got away with it too, because he still tried to finish the shot. Karen Hall saying Jacoby got the chain. Shout outs to Jacoby, bro. Shout outs to Jacoby. You deserve it. I don't know if you were the best player tonight. Brandon Ingram probably not going to win back-to-back chains. That might be it. I think Scotty or Jacoby or BI could have gotten it. One of those 3 guys definitely won you this game. Shout outs to all 3 of them. But yeah, this play is just hilarious for all million sorts of reasons. Okay, look. I understand what Brandon Ingram was trying to do here. He was trying very desperately to draw a foul, and this is a favorable matchup. And if the Pacers are going to guard him one-on-one, that's just disrespectful. So here, Benedict Mathurin is not coming over. Jarris Walker, not Jarris Walker. Isaiah Jackson is just sitting back. You got a one-on-one against Ben Shepherd. You got to take it. But you got to get something better than this. You got to get something better than this. Begging the referees to call this foul when they're not calling fouls for you is really tough. Okay. And this play might be why Jacoby got the chain. Look at this, man. You are down 3. This is a high leverage possession. Okay. High leverage. Boom. Ingram. Siakam takes it away. And this is some of the worst defense. If Pascal Siakam was on my team right now, this would be the play that I would crucify him for. There's no reason that Jacoby should be this far ahead of you on this play. Now, understand he had 5 fouls. I think he had 4 fouls or 5 fouls at this point. Understand you can't commit the foul. But bro, you cannot be this sorry. And you also cannot give up 2 points. So shout out to Jacoby for finishing this. He had a really tough finishing night overall. Has had a couple of really tough finishes where he just tries to like pump fake, and he doesn't have a lot of technique doing that stuff right now. But man, that was a big time move with the game, very much in the balance. And here, Emmanuel Quickley is going to pass to Scotty Barnes. Hallelujah. Beats Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam, absolute turnstile right now. Draws the second defender. And the minute he got up here, I'm like, oh, no. Now, I want to be clear. No disrespect to Jacoby, bro. Sorry, no disrespect to Emmanuel Quickley. He had no idea what he was doing with this. There is no way that you even needed to do this shit. This is a needlessly reckless, crazy ass pass. You cannot guarantee that this pass is going to get through, that it's going to that Siakam wouldn't get a hand on it. This is a miracle pass. Okay. And it's super off target. It falls into like over here for Scotty. Scotty moves to adjust himself. And here Scotty's just going to hit a mid-range shot. With 15 seconds on the clock, honestly, I'm fine with it. He trusts this shot. Me personally, I'm attacking, but there's nowhere to go. I get it. I totally get it. I totally get him taking the shot. Take the first available shot. If you drive it, you overcomplicate things. You allow, Jakob Poeltl's man, Jay Huff, to kind of guard two offensive players, one defensive player. And then maybe by that point, Pascal gets back into the play. So here, perfectly fine with Scotty Barnes taking that shot. Okay. And I said, take over, Scott. Wait a second. Missed the play. Said defense. Absolutely. Yo, the end of this game was cinema. Cinema, absolutely. Look at this. Look at this defense on Ben Mathurin. Get up, get up, get up. Now, sometimes it's not the guy who makes the stop or the guy who makes the contest or the guy who applies the pressure. It's everybody. And here, 3 guys make this possible. Okay. Now, I don't know if y'all saw this in real time, but let me break this down for you. Number 1, the pressure by Scotty is elite. Number 2, forcing him to go to his right, where all of your help is very good, right? You don't want him to attack on the side of Siakam and Nembhard. You want him to go to the side where you have the advantage. Now, the only lack of advantage here is the pass over the top to Jay Huff. And I don't know if Scotty can see this behind his head, but I'm pretty sure he has a keen idea of where the players are. So here, also knowing your personnel, knowing that this is not Tyrese Halliburton. If Tyrese Halliburton is here, this is a pass right here. Jay Huff gets an open. But here, Emmanuel Quickley is going to recover to Jay Huff, which is great. And you can see Jakob Poeltl is very worried here. But who comes over? It's Brandon Ingram. Look at Ingram sit into the gap. Look at that. Look at that subtle shift that makes this drive just that much harder. Again, not every wing defender will do this. Okay. Drive and look at Ingram. One step over, reach, and look at Jacoby Walter. Charge. And look at Scotty from behind, rear. This is perfect. This is great defense. You baited this dude right into a trap. That's a trap. Okay? That's perfect basketball. I say here, take over, Scott. Take over, man. Absolutely. By the way, we're almost done the film session here. We're about 51 minutes in. Typically not quite. We probably went a little bit longer, waxing poetic a little bit about some of these clips, but I'm going to drop the link here for the call-in show. This is the link to call in if you would like to call in and discuss this game and any takeaways you might have had. I said here, take over, Scott. Take over. Takes Benedict Mathurin on his hip. Surprising to make this pass to Jakob Poeltl. But here, he says, screw it. Draws the foul. Goes to the line for his 13th and 14th free throw at that point. I think it might have been 12th and 11th and 12th at that point. Insane process. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful from him. I said back-to-back winning plays. So very often it will come down to Scotty doing it on one end and Ingram doing it on the other, or vice versa. These two string together so many clutch plays. Now here, offensively, Quickly is going to pass to Ingram. Perfect shot. Ben Mathurin has no chance. Quick makes the play, right? Now, Scotty Barnes applying some pressure on the half-court line to a guy who is not a natural point guard. And here, by applying this pressure, Ben Mathurin steps over the half-court line. He forces a backcourt violation. And this was 3 minutes and 25 seconds ago. And this is the point where I feel that the game completely, 100% broke in the Raptors' favor. But the Raptors are not like, no. We're not done. We are going to make this as dramatic as humanly possible. The Raptors are up by 2. Got 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Emmanuel Quickly thinks he's somebody that he's not. And this is why. This singular play, I hated this. Absolutely. From the Quickly perspective, this is not your game. And that is a really good defender. And you did nothing here. Like, that's not your game. Like, I understand you want to take this shot, but dude, look at the court when you took that shot. Like, watch this play. Who's open? Who's not? Okay. You got 3 seconds left on the clock. It's a bailout. But honestly, right here, there's 6 seconds, right? There's got to be something better than this. Go all the way to the basket. Dump it off to Yak. Do something. This was a busted play. I have questions. No, this was not the play. But here, Scotty Barnes gets that offensive rebound, passes it to Quickly. This shot I actually like for him. I actually do like this. Perfect. Off the offensive rebound. I do like it. But I don't know if giving it to Jacoby is going to help you make better offense, if I'm being honest. I really don't. It's just tough offense, and honestly, it just wasn't great for me. Okay. Now, before we look at the final play, take a look at this one. Scotty passes to Emmanuel Quickly. Once again, 8 seconds on the clock. Now, can someone please tell me what you would do in this situation? Right here. Right here. I mean, you can say this is a good shot, but Brandon Ingram is wide open too, man. So if you take this shot, you better make this shot. And you're making the shot over a very good shot blocker. So you already have to think about it. You're already thinking about it. And it's like, if you take the shot, you better make the shot, because if you look off Brandon Ingram for an open 3, Jacoby in the corner for a wide open 3, you better make this shot. And shit, man, this is the game on the line. It's 95 with 38 seconds to go. You have to make this shot. And you don't. It's just tough. It's just tough. Like, to go this cold down the stretch, I'm sorry. Now, the play you've all been waiting for, the shot. Here, 3.6 seconds ago, the Raptors get the stop, elect not to call a timeout, as Jack Armstrong's like, gotta call a timeout here. Darko elects to play this out 95-95. Knowing situation, knowing yourself, knowing what it means for your team to win this without the timeout is everything to me. Number one, that. Number two, knowing that momentum is on your side. And if you go to overtime, Siakam's got 5 fouls. Gamesmanship, having that wherewithal to bypass the immediate, we have to call a foul. We have to call a timeout. We have to call a timeout. No, you don't have to call a timeout. Their defense is expecting a timeout right here. You don't call the timeout. You put them off balance and you put the ball in the hands. If the ball was already in the hands, I'll guarantee you right now, if the ball is in the hands of Jacoby Walter, he's calling timeout to make sure that he gets the shot that he wants. Darko's ability to think on his feet and not call a timeout here is a huge part of why you win this game. Another part of why you actually win this game is Brandon Ingram's insane ability to hit this shot. And I will give at least 10% of this shot credit to Pascal Siakam's abysmal defense. But man, oh man, everybody in the building knew Ingram is not passing this up. The only question is, when is he going to take the shot? Now, if you are Brandon Ingram, the other part of this play that is super underrated, and I have no idea because I don't have a vision into his mind if he knew it when he did this, but when he took this shot mattered so much. Why? Because options, okay? If you milk this, even like knowing exactly when to go, like this is where sometimes Scotty struggles because he doesn't have the experience, right? He doesn't have like it's weird to say Scotty doesn't have high basketball IQ. Scotty has insanely high basketball IQ. He doesn't have the reps in these moments to know when to go in this moment. But this is exactly when Kawhi would go. This is where Michael would go. This is where Kobe would go. Why? Because when you go this early, there's always the threat that you can go all the way. There's also the option to pass out. There's also the option to pump fake. There's also the option to stop and go again. And here, Ingram is just going to sink it. Now, what's interesting here to me, did they adjust the clock? Now, this is a question for everybody else because I don't remember this. Genuinely don't remember it. Did they adjust the clock to 1.3 for when Mathurin took his shot? Does anyone remember if they did? Because this shot goes through the rim at 1.3. So maybe Ingram went a little early. Maybe a little bit early. Armin's saying they didn't change it. Oof. That's a big mistake. That's a big mistake. Because the type of shots that you can get off of 0.6 and the type of shots you can get with 1.3 is a very big difference. And I didn't think they changed it either. And I saw 0.6 on the clock. And in real time, I didn't see, but this ball goes clearly through the rim. It's out. 0.6 is too low. So shout outs to the Raptors scorekeepers and shot clock manager because you really, exactly. This is exactly what I was thinking. Revenge for Atlanta timekeeper. Yup. Hey, man, home court advantage. Home court advantage. Okay, this is your home court advantage. Brandon Ingram hits the shot. Everyone's hoopla, and nobody's thinking straight. Yes, the clock should have been adjusted. Ingram went a little early, leaving 1.2 seconds on the clock. In this situation, when you have the chance, you have to take the final shot. In either case, even leaving 0.6 is too much time on the clock because right now, you have to think about this, okay? And again, this didn't happen, so nobody cares, but this could have happened, so we're going to talk about it. I started the segment out by praising Ingram for his skill as a scorer. But if I am talking to Brandon Ingram after this game, I am telling him, under no circumstance, if we don't call a timeout here, can you allow them to get a shot? Because there's a chance you don't make this shot, okay? There's a chance. You made the shot, so we're happy. But if you don't make this shot, you have left. Let's just say this doesn't go in. Let's say instead of going in the rim, this bounces out and they call a timeout with 0.8, 0.9. Dude, you got to take the final shot in this situation. Now, personally, I think he went, if I'm looking at this objectively now with the benefit of hindsight, probably should have gone at 3 seconds. Maybe 3.5. At that point, with Siakam being the defender that he is right now, Huff like being the low man here, I don't know. We can sit here all day. We're not going to be miserable about this. This is a huge shot. Bingo goes in. The Pacers, they win their buzzer beater. The potential to end it. I mean, if Mathurin hits that shot with 0.6 seconds, you're talking about a heartbreaking game. Nevertheless, he didn't hit that shot. Brandon Ingram hit his shot. And so the Raptors win this game. I'm sure Siakam was also timing. I don't think Pascal Siakam knew what planet he was on tonight, if I'm being honest, man. I really don't. He didn't seem all that engaged in this game. He didn't seem, all that aware of what was happening. We don't have any callers. That's cool. Okay. That's dope, man. Y'all got a lot of stuff going on. Appreciate y'all. Okay. The homie Nicked, we got this. The Raptors did not play great, but part of why was the case of the okay. We looked at this. Thank you very much, the homie Nicked. Appreciate you. Prager 2, shout outs to you. Still loving tuning in and seeing the same gold. We'll subscribe once the job situation shifts. Much love, brother. Thank you so much. I you know what? Thank you. Seriously. You've always been such a supporter. Remember our calls. Thank you. Thank you so much for this. And thank you for the warm wishes as always. And shout outs to Miriam. Happy 1 year older Rob, Mark, and I, hoping continued success. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been very helpful. So much. And support is very much felt always. Did you see Scotty go crazy? Yeah, I did. So if you would like to see Scotty go crazy, we can look at Scotty go crazy. Here, Scotty going crazy. This is Scotty going crazy. Now, honestly, probably shouldn't be celebrating. Game's not over, but I understand. That shot is huge. And I'm gonna be honest, no one has hit a consequential shot like this in Toronto in like 4 years. Like when I say crazy, like this is what I mean. MKLP82, Glow going crazy. Glorilla is going crazy. That was Glorilla, right? Glorilla in the house. She was happy. She will let everybody know. Dude, jumping up and down. I'm surprised she didn't break those heels. She got like 6-inch stilettos and she jumping up and down. She's so excited. That's dope. She's excited, man. Buddy Terrifico said, feels like Gary Trent had the last crazy shot. Pretty much. Yeah. Shout out Glow and BI Pops. Was Brandon? Oh, Brandon Ingram's dad's right there. I see him. He's right behind. Is my man drinking Tim Hortons? What? Is that a Tim Hortons that he got? Yes, that is his father right there. I recognize Brandon Ingram's dad. Seen him a lot. That's Brandon Ingram's dad right there, sitting next to Glorilla. That's dope, man. That is cool. Very cool. Huge moment. She's excited her man hit a game winner. Absolutely. Absolutely. What a shot. Totally, man. Forgot about Jacoby's shot. Been a tough few years. When I say like shots that really mattered, it kind of matters the context of the season you're in as well, right? Devin saying RJ is missed. Ryan saying we need RJ. Do we? Sure, absolutely. Another weapon, with Grady going down tonight, you are somewhat getting awful thin. We're not going to talk too much, in my opinion, about like what happened with CMB tonight. I don't think it's all that serious, if I'm being honest. He wasn't great. He wasn't super sharp tonight. And yeah, like that's where we are. Okay, we got Angel calling in. Angel, what's up, man?
What up, Rob? You hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you.
Man, how good is it to have a closer?
Feels great.
Scotty, he didn't have the best shooting game, but you always feel his impact.
He didn't have the
If
best shooting game. Shot
I said
14 for he shot 14 for 14 from the free throw line, and he got 24 points on 12 shots. What do you mean?
I mean, it seemed kind of like he forced a lot of stuff, a lot of that. Like,
I think he had a couple rough turnovers on the travels, but that's about it. Like that would be me.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't think he had a rough shooting game, but that's just me.
I hear you. I mean,
Yeah,
he got to the free throw line, and I'm glad he finally got some free throws because I think he's only averaging like 3 a game or something like that, which is crazy.
that sounds about right. He went 3 straight games without getting a single one.
Yeah, I still don't understand the disrespect, especially for how much he attacks the rim. It just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, they really do pick and choose when they give it to him, right?
Yeah, it feels like that. And I caught the game a little late today, but I seen Colin was starting, but ended up not having a lot of minutes. So you know what happened there? Was he just kind of struggling?
He might just be hurt, like he might have just got hurt, and that's it's not like he got hurt in the game, is what I mean. But
Okay.
like, because he did come back in the second half, he did come back and he wasn't laboring. I just think he's working. If you're talking about the production overall, like, why is he not scoring? Because let me see, he
He
played
no,
eight.
he barely got any minutes after starting.
Well, I mean, they looked really bad with him on the court, and I mean, shout outs to Darko Rajakovic for adjusting right away because other coaches, they take a long ass time to adjust. If I'm being
That's a
honest, like,
fact. For
they
sure.
will sit there for like 3 hours watching the team struggle and just keep starting the same guy. And this is why I say, like, it might be a bit of a blessing to not have RJ sometimes too, because you actually have a starter you can bench. So if it's not working with CMB, you can go to Mamu, you can go to Jacoby, you can go to Ochai, you can go to Grady when he was okay. Uh, Someone said CMB got early fouls. I
Okay.
mean, what, he pick up like 1 or 2 fouls and then he sat after 3 minutes? Like that's yeah, that was it. He got 2 quick fouls. I tuned into this game like 3 minutes into the game and he was just going to the bench. So maybe I missed it.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. That 2 fouls that early, but it's like you said, it's cool that you could be able to just not rely on one guy to play those minutes, and you can just quickly make that type of adjustment.
For sure.
And Jacoby, I think he's finally getting into a rhythm. He had a great second half. That shots dropping, the defense is always there. It makes you feel a little bit more at ease if RJ was to leave, but you still miss a lot of his game when he's not out there, especially attacking the rim.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand it. Like, in terms of cannibalizing space, RJ is really good in terms of being, just another option the teams have to worry about out there. RJ is really good, but in terms of like some of the defense, like, are you looking at the box scores right now?
Fuck.
Like, okay, so to put it into perspective, the Toronto Raptors have, hold on, let me just check this here. In the 2 games without RJ, they have held opponents to below 100 points twice in a row. Are you seeing that? Like, that matters. Okay, we've lost Angel. DK, what's up? Hello?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, sort of. What's up?
Uh, hey, what's going on? I just wanted to say, from a general consumer standpoint, that was an entertaining ass game, man. Um, just to have a moment like that, it's going to give us a lot of momentum moving forward, and I'm
Yep.
super stoked that we have a closer. And it's
Mhm.
just going to add more fuel to our fire. I mean, I feel like we have some winnable games moving forward. So this was amazing, man. Just as a pure entertainment standpoint, amazing game to watch, super fun. Um, I wanted to talk about the RJ situation, because I do
Mhm.
know there's a lot of RJ haters in this group chat. I don't necessarily think you're an RJ hater. Um, I love how you critique him and provide constructive criticism because I do not think he's perfect. I think what we're missing from RJ right now is his driving, his cutting. Um, there was a lot of times when BI was double teamed tonight and the cuts were just late. Um, and BI, we didn't have RJ cutting in. RJ knows what to do in those situations. He doesn't need the ball. He's getting like the fourth most touches on his team, and he's still averaging like 20 points a game. So it's like, if we have RJ back, I feel like Quickly doesn't throw up those dirty little jumpers,
But he's been doing it all year.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, man, I don't know. It was a good game. Not necessarily good basketball, but as a Raptors fan, I'm happy. Super happy.
I mean, okay, so I understand the offense. No one has I hope no one's really complaining about the offense. But I think it's worth noting that guys like Jamison Battle, Jacoby Walter, Grady Dick get guarded very differently on the perimeter in terms of driving space, right?
Sure.
So we've seen now back-to-back games where Brandon Ingram has had like nearly 30 points per game, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing assertive-ish Scotty Barnes a little bit more. Like Ingram and Barnes are now averaging close to 50 points over the last 2 games.
Fair.
They're over 50 points per game over the last 2 games. And our defense has gotten significantly better over the last 2 games. I don't know if you would agree with that, but we held the Cleveland Cavaliers to 99 points. We held Donovan Mitchell to crazy low, below season average numbers. Dude is averaging like borderline MVP numbers, and we made him look regular, right?
Yeah.
That has to be credited to Jacoby. Jacoby was a huge part of that. Yeah. So I feel like the off-ball defense, the transition defense gets so much better with RJ away. And, to the people out there who was like, yo, like you need RJ to win games. I mean, you won the last game against a pretty decent team by 11, and now you win this game down the stretch. I'm kind of the mindset, like maybe he's not as essential as some people think he is. Like, is he better than Herb Jones would be on this team? I have my doubts.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own, right? Like, I think he is a little bit. I think he gets shit on way too much defensively, to be honest. We recently had in a post game. He was actually praising RJ's defense.
Who was?
Brandon Ingram. And he was saying how his defense has been missed. Do I think he's not as quick laterally? Yes. Do I think he gets beat often? Yes. Understandably, but everyone has their flaws at the end of the day. There's no perfect basketball player on this team. If there was one closest to perfect, it would be Scotty. So I think he is missed.
Scotty and BI are miles from perfect, but they're also like not extensively liabilities in any significant way. Like BI with his length and his size is able to participate. I certainly believe that if I can count up the mistakes that a player makes defensively, I don't think Brandon Ingram makes as many mistakes as RJ Barrett defensively, especially off the ball. On the ball, yeah, there's some really, really good stuff with RJ on the ball where you can get to it and say, hey, if he is on this guy one-on-one, chest to chest, and nobody else comes into that play, he's pretty all right. If he's the one in the post, he's going to fight. And I feel like because people overstress and overpay attention to on-ball defense, they don't really see how many times he's lazy getting back in transition. And it's not a lack of trying. These are habits. This is I don't know. Has he ever been a good defender in the NBA? No. He's been in the league for 7 years, 6 years. He's going on 7 years. He's not a good defender. And shout outs to Brandon Ingram. He's never really been a great defender either. Whoa. Whoa. That audio is rough, bro. Anyways, do you have any final thoughts? Yeah, that was definitely you.
Oh, my bad, dog. My bad.
No worries.
No. I appreciate what you do. Just wanted to bring that up. Also, that Pirtle block was monstrous. I think that was even more important than the actual game-winning shot. So shout out Pirtle. He's turning it around quite well.
Absolutely. All right, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you, DK.
Yeah, take it easy.
See ya. Loads of videos coming out around the Toronto Raptors. I would love to just take a day to go around the internet and see what people are saying about the Toronto Raptors. And I would like to know who's actually watching the Raptors. I'll tell you someone who's watching the Raptors. I'm watching the Raptors. I'm going to be talking about the Raptors on the panel tomorrow. So if you'd like to hear my thoughts up there with a bunch of gentlemen who don't watch the Raptors as often as I do and possibly push back a lot on my Raptors takes, you can definitely check out the panel on Player's Choice tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We will be there talking all our shit about how good the Toronto Raptors are and how they have the longest winning streak right now. I don't know if I'm right in saying they could have the longest winning streak in the NBA right now. They might. AG, what's up?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Rob. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. So obviously this is pretty awesome, to say the least, but just wanted to disagree with the last caller. You know, I find it really upsetting when people minimalize, the way we look at the game, okay? And they just say the stupid thing like, "Oh, you're hating." It's like, bro, that's not hate. I have no hatred towards RJ's. I have hatred towards his defense. I don't like his defense at all. And like you said, it's not because of a lack of trying. It's just because of habits. It's because of things that he, grew up prioritizing. He was a dominant offensive player his whole life. And so he didn't learn those little nuances on defense, like the awareness and all that type of stuff. And so when I see him play and when I see our team play, our overall defensive awareness has just gone up. And it's it's just those little things add up. They add up in points, they add up in possessions, they add up in our ability to force turnovers, to close gaps. Like there's so many things that he doesn't do defensively that really adds up towards the end of the game. And that's why we have games where we should limit teams to lower points, but they still get more points. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah,
I could see the team having a defensive upgrade at his position, and we could still make out pretty good on the offensive end because the player we're getting back is obviously not going to be a scrub that scores 2 points per game. He'll score something, and then the other guys will have more touches like BI and Scotty, who have been looking amazing last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't like when people say you're hating on RJ. I don't hate RJ. I like RJ. But we could go for an upgrade there defensively, for sure. I just want to make that point, man.
I agree with you. And I think I don't know. I'm split because it's hard to ignore. Correlation is not causation. There's a lot of reasons why the Raptors defense has been a little bit better. But one of the biggest reasons is you don't have as weak a liability starting in the starting lineup. They've tried Jacoby, Sandro, they've gone with Colin Murray-Boyles tonight. In every case, maybe none of these players can replicate what RJ does offensively. Okay. Nobody said they would. Nobody up here came up and be like, who's better between Jacoby and RJ offensively? Jacoby Walter. No, we talking about overall for the team.
Yep.
Right. And for the team, like there was a play, I think it was Scotty Barnes commits a turnover, turns into 2 points down the other end, but due to the fact that he never gets back downhill, he never gets back across the court. If you remember this play, Jamal Shed finds him under the basket for a dunk. He steals Siakam and gets the 2 points back. You know what that is? You cost us 2 points. You gave us 2 points back.
Exactly.
That's all it is. You cost us. That's neutral. That's zero. I don't care about the turnover and I don't care about the 2 points. To me, I didn't even show that play because that play to me is neutral. You already evened it out. When you miss your jump shot, or you miss a layup and you rebound your own miss, and then you miss another one and you rebound your own miss, and then you put it back in. To me, that's not like, oh my God, you missed 2 shots. What an idiot. But that's also not, oh my God, you got 2 offensive rebounds. You just broke even on that play.
Exactly.
Right? So it's a transactional thing. You told me you invest in crypto, right?
Yep.
Okay. Here's a question for you, AG.
Mm-hmm.
Good question. If you lose $500,000 on Bitcoin, and then you make $500,000 on Bitcoin, what's your net?
0.
Okay, that's perfect. So if you so have you ever found yourself transferring like, I don't know, like $2,000 into your crypto wallet, and then taking $2,000 out and being like, "Oh my god, I got $2,000."
Yeah, I mean, I don't even count that. That's like a wash, you know?
Exactly. But
Yeah.
you know what? I'm envious of the fool who is so stupid, right? That they
Yep.
could put $200 into, like maybe this person out there who doesn't think this way that you think will go to a bank teller, hand them $100, get back 520s, and be like, wow, just rip the bank teller off. Just ripped her off. What a dumbass. She gave me 5 bills for 1 bill. She's amazing. That's how I view RJ Barrett's offense.
Exactly.
It's I give up 2 points on one end, I get 2 points on the other end. I give up 2 points on the other end, I give up 2 points. It's just always a wash. He's like zero. He's just zero out there. But I don't feel Jacoby is zero. I feel like Jacoby is like +2. You know what I mean? +1.
Exactly.
So, some nights he might be -1, but I feel like some nights when RJ's shot doesn't go in, he's like -10. You know what I mean? Like and there's also the compounding thing. If RJ was a really good shooter, I could look past the defense. If he was a great shooter, I could look past the defense. I really could.
Yep.
But you can't, like, he is funny because, you know, in a league where if I told you an average general manager has Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram and Emmanuel Quickley, like these 3 sort of not ball dominant, but like skilled, you know, not optimal, but 3 guys. The first thing they would be like is put 3 and D next to him. Put a 3 and D guy next to him.
100%.
Putting a no 3, no D guy next to these guys makes absolutely no sense.
Exactly. It's like a piece of a puzzle that doesn't fit, you know?
So that's all it is. And you know what's funny? If Brandon Ingram was to get swapped out for OG Anunoby, I wouldn't be thrilled about it, but it would settle RJ Barrett back into his place.
Yeah.
You know, somebody has to be that guy. That's all I'm saying. Somebody has to be that guy. Somebody has to be the guy who gets on the glass, does the dirty work, you know, fills space in transition, provides space in offense, sets good screens, does all that stuff. And RJ, for all of his intents and purposes of trying to be that guy, it's still not perfect because a lot of the lineups with him really do suck. And including that starting lineup, it's just not optimal. And honestly, it's funny enough, if you traded Scotty right now for, I'm not saying trade Scotty, but I'm saying if you traded Scotty for a way better 3-point shooter, like if you traded Scotty for Steph, it could also work. It could also work with RJ because now what RJ does is just opened. But with Scotty and RJ and Yak, it's just clunky. It's just stupid. Those are my thoughts. Like I think it's a bad fit.
I agree. I mean, it's not an ideal fit, and that is not an indictment on the player. That's just the way our team is built. Right. But I was gonna say, like, Scotty and BI are starting to look like the best 1-2 punch in the East, and I'm liking what I'm seeing, man. Because
who could be better?
I was brainstorming that.
Cat and Brunson.
Nah, I'm not a big fan of Cat.
Okay, Paolo and Paolo and Franz.
Love Franz. Paolo, inefficient.
Okay.
Rather have BI and Scotty.
Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham.
I mean, that's pretty good. Both young guys too.
It is really good. Yeah,
that is tough.
That's really tough. Trey and Jalen Johnson, they don't move you.
No, not at all.
LaMelo and Con Knipple, they don't move you.
No, Con Knipple's amazing though.
Con is really good. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think Sunday's going to be cinema. It's going to be really great. I mean, I'm not trying to look past the Charlotte Hornets. I really hope the way the Raptors have been playing, I hope they don't drop a game against Charlotte. But at this point, man, pretty good team.
Who are they facing Sunday?
Facing the Knicks.
Oh shit, MSG?
Yes, I believe it is at MSG.
Oh, that's gonna be good. Wait, so you're facing Charlotte in between?
Yep.
Oh, that's a trap game and a half. Oh god. Oh my goodness. Wait, is that a home game or?
So they will have Thursday, Friday to recover from this game that they just played, which is like God bless, right? And then they have Saturday, Sunday. So shout out to the schedule makers for not giving us a game on Friday and spacing this out, but that's not a problem.
Yeah.
Charlotte, we already faced. They're a good team. We beat them at the buzzer, right?
Yeah.
So that was the BI block, Scotty block, we escaped that win.
Yep.
I'm curious to see, with a better defensive unit without RJ, does Khan give us this much trouble?
I don't think so, personally. I think the rookie struggles.
We'll
I
see.
do.
We'll see. And yeah, I guess I got a question for you. How do you feel about CMB so far? Like, what have you seen from him over the last couple games since he's been back?
Well, I mean, it's been a bit of a struggle for the rookie. I just see he's going. Yeah, I mean, he's having one of those rookie rough stretches right now. I'm not too concerned, but it does look like he's a bit nicked up. I don't think he's 100% healthy. You know, and you know, when you're a young guy, like I remember when I was, obviously I'm not on their level, but when I was in high school, played ball. Whenever something's off, I was like an emotions on my sleeve type of guy. And whenever I wasn't feeling well, it just went through my entire game. Like I would not be good defensively, offensively, nothing would be good. Like I would just be off rhythm, and that's what he looks like right now. He looks off on all aspects. But I have so much confidence in that young guy. He's amazing. One of my favorite young players. So
one of the things, like I think he's still working himself back from injury. It was on a Twitter space the other day, in a Raptors Twitter space, and somebody who was a Knicks fan came up and they were just like, y'all better be careful when RJ comes back from injury, because he usually really struggles when he comes back from injuries. Now, I haven't checked the data on this, so I don't know for sure if I remember any trend like this, but some guys do have like really slow starts when they come back from injury. They have to learn to kind of get back into rhythm. RJ was in great rhythm coming into this season. Like, let's just be real. He was in amazing rhythm. He had a great summer and he looked sharp. And now everyone else is getting sharper and he doesn't look as sharp as he did early in the season. So now getting injured, this could be one of those, like, you know, he comes out of the gate and he shoots 3 for 16. So I really hope that doesn't screw anything up. But I have a feeling the Raptors will lose one of those 2 games this weekend. I have a feeling. It's just a feeling, because it's like Charlotte, New York, back to back. I think either they're both on the road or one of them's on the road. It's not easy.
We're winning, bro. You know why?
They're both on the road, by the way.
We're going to win both. I have a feeling. Why? Because I don't know if you noticed, but they looked like all their shots kind of look a lot, especially quickly. Like they just look short. Like they look like they don't have their legs under them. Exactly. Yeah, so I think these 2 days, these 2 days of rest will help. And it's not long flights. You know, we're still in the East for the next game, right? So I think that helps a lot, because I've been traveling through North America, and I'm telling you, travel sucks, especially when you got to go through customs. And they know that, obviously they're pros. But like, yeah, I think we're gonna see a more rejuvenated. I think our shots are gonna be a lot better. Back-to-back games, we're not shooting very well.
Right.
So I think we can win both games. Honestly, I think the New York one will be the Raptors' better performance, because they're gonna be up for that game. And Charlotte always, for whatever reason, plays us tough. I don't know why, but yeah, I like our chances, especially against New York. Maybe Charlotte will punch us in the mouth, and we'll be like, "What the heck," you know? And they won't be up for them as much as we would be for the Knicks. But I'm not scared of the Knicks. I don't know why people are scared of the Knicks. I'm not scared of them at all. I watch them a lot. Like nothing about them scares me whatsoever.
And no OG and possibly no RJ for that matchup, right?
Yeah, like they don't scare. Okay, real quick before I get out of here, but I want to ask you, who is a good 3-and-D player that is good at cutting as well, that the Raptors could use? That would be an ideal fit for our team right now.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
I'll think about it. I can think of a ton of 3-and-D players. 3-and-D plus cutting is where I have to think about it, because I want to think 3-and-D plus cutting plus high IQ basketball player who can also make reads. See what I mean? Like you need so many things to work in Darko's system. Believe it or not, RJ has a lot of the things that you need to work in Darko's system. He's a big playmaker. He is bought into winning, right? He's a really smart basketball player. Just can't defend, can't shoot. So it's kind of like the two things. And yeah, he's kind of like the easy guy out is what the best way to say it to RJ fans. And it's really hard to hear this if you're an RJ super fan, is he's just the easiest guy to cut.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Right? Like sometimes you have a tryout for a team and the 3 best guys in the tryout are all point guards. but you only need 2 point guards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
you got to get a center anyway. You know what I mean? It's not like I think Day'Ron Sharpe's a better player than RJ Barrett. I'm not on crack. I'm not
Yeah.
insane. I don't have a fentanyl problem. I'm not fucking nuts. You know what I mean? Like it's not that. None of it. It's
Just
just
it.
that's what it is. Like it's just hard. It's hard to yeah. That is just what it is. Anyways, man, thanks a lot for calling in. Appreciate you.
No problem, man. Take care.
Peace. Thank you. We got D-Dub. D-Dub, what's up, man?
Hey Rob, what's going on, man?
What's good?
Yeah, I want to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Okay.
Um, I think I joined the community when you were at like 3K subs or something like that. So
It's been a long journey, man.
you
Thank you.
know, yeah, I just want to give you your flowers. You're doing real good work. Proud of you. Just the way you break down basketball is real refreshing, you know. So I salute you, my brother.
Thank you so much, man. Today I heard from somebody from our community. I don't know how they got my phone number, but that was interesting. And they hit me up and they were just like, man, I just want to let you know that everyone in my office thinks I'm a basketball genius and a savant. I never played the game. And it is because I listened to you. And I was just like, that's dope. That's really dope.
Of
That
course.
they and I asked them a couple questions. I was like, do the people in your office, like, are they like 2019 casuals? It's like, no, man, these are players these are guys who play basketball. They've been watching basketball their whole lives, and they think I'm like the smartest guy in basketball, and they don't know that like I just watch PENSARE basketball. That's what I do.
Right.
And I was just like, damn, homie, like that's amazing. Like I'm
Honestly,
happy. That to me is value add, you know. So yeah, at the end of this live, like after we're done with callers, I'm actually gonna share some like thoughts that I've had, you know, turning 38. It's a
mhm.
big number, dude. Like
Yeah. I mean,
some people will tell me, no, Rob, wait till you're 80. That's a big number. But like to me, 38 is a huge number. And I had a lot of reflective thoughts today that, you know, I'll probably share towards the end of this live. But yeah. What'd you think
yeah.
of the game, man?
To be honest with you, I just caught the clips because I
Okay.
couldn't watch it live. I actually wake up early in the morning, but
What do you
I
do?
wanted to. What's that?
What do you do?
Oh, I sell building material to contractors.
Dope. That's cool.
I also do a little bit of marketing on the side. So I have a really long day. I know you know all about that, but yes, it's all a part of all a part of the grind, getting better, and doing better.
Hmm.
Um, in terms of what I saw from the clips, I really I like the team as a whole. Obviously, we could get better. There's areas that we can get better, but
Sure.
I like I like Mamu and Shed. I like their two-man game. I
Mm-hmm.
like Scotty and Yak's game, two-man game as well. I think Bi's playing like an all-star right now.
You're making a case, man. Very
Yeah,
loud case.
for
Game
sure.
winners, 37 balls. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. He's staying consistent, which is good, right? This is why we gave him that contract.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Um,
And
Scotty,
what a sign of faith that contract was. No games played, $120 million,
right?
sight unseen.
Yeah,
That's
is
confidence, man.
definitely it's definitely confidence, from the Raptors front office, right?
Mm-hmm.
To take that leap of faith,
Mm-hmm.
especially with his injury history.
Totally. Agreed.
Yeah, Scotty, I think Scotty's playing like an all defensive, maybe first or second team at least.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing big. Obviously, he could get better, but he's putting in work. I like what I'm seeing from him. I like it when he gets in the paint and he draws a lot of um, basically when he's in the paint, he draws two defenders as well, but he can kick it out very easily. And I think that the more that he goes to that, is the better off that the team will be in the long run.
I think it's
Because
kind of cool to have like two
yeah,
6'9" players, you know, that can dribble, pass, shoot. Obviously, one of them can dribble a lot better than the other one, and one of them can pass a lot better than the other one. But the skill set of having these two players who can do this is kind of cool. And I would say, whereas BI invites, you know, the double team, Scotty almost like decoys the double team, if that makes
right,
sense. Like Scotty is more like, I know you're gonna double team me, and here's my pass. And BI is like, if you dare to double team me, I will pass. So
right,
it's a slightly different mindset towards like approaching like dominant scoring. And obviously, BI's got a whole level of craft, and I'm happy that Scotty can see that, right? Like, I'm happy that he gets to be in a practice around a dude that he respects. Scotty obviously grew up watching Kobe. He's seeing a lot of Kobe stuff from what BI is doing right now,
right,
right?
exactly.
So it's good for him to see this. Also, good for him to see the process. BI is a super hard worker. He's a grinder. He's like, you know, the film guy. He's the guy who's going to dissect his play. So I'm happy that Scotty got someone like that he can bounce ideas off of and stuff. And you know, it's good for him. It's good for both of
Yeah,
them.
it
Yeah,
looks like they're both Bi and Scotty are really obsessed with the game, which is really refreshing to see, because you know there's a lot of players in the NBA that they don't really want to play basketball. They just want the money. They just want the fame, but they don't really love the game like that.
hmm,
So
yeah,
when you see two players and two of your franchise players really taking the game that seriously, it it just it just shows that we're in good hands. And
absolutely, man.
I think the fan base just has to be a little bit more patient. You know, we'll see what we could do this year. I'm optimistic. Maybe semifinals in the conference, or even conference finals. Right? Why not? Why not? The conference is right there for
Mm,
the taking.
yeah,
So we just got to build on what we're doing right now. And also, I think even like CMB, I think he'll be all right. Is this he? We got to remember he's a rookie.
hmm,
He's trying to work through it, but I do see potential in him.
mm,
I think he can be somewhat of an OG archetype. If he develops a jump shot, for sure I can see that, because
sure,
his defense is strong.
absolutely, man. Anyways, any final thoughts, D-Dub?
Uh, no, I just keep doing what you're doing, man. Don't stop. I love the way that you break down clips and
Yeah,
do analysis like in real time. I really don't see any other podcasters, Raptors podcasters, doing that. So salute to
yeah.
you,
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you very much. Peace.
for sure.
Yeah. See you, man. Okay. I see that a lot of people are talking about my hat and whether I need a new hat. Well, let me tell you something funny. So I considered getting a new hat, and then I realized I love this hat, and then I almost got the exact same hat last birthday. So, as y'all know, I am very, very, very much trying to pay off my mortgage. So I have very, very limited capacity to buy anything that I absolutely don't need. And if I don't need it, I'm not buying it. Like the only thing I get, like that's even a remote indulgence, would be like occasionally I'll get ice cream for myself. I know it sounds crazy, bro. We talking a mortgage, we're talking adult shit. Okay. I can eat everything and buy all the hats that I want later in life. So yeah, some funny questions here. Hold on one second. We got some funny questions. You should get a new hat, dude. I'm sick of that Puma hat. That's funny. I don't know why I started this. It just made me laugh. So appreciate you. Thank you very much. Rob, what do you want for your birthday? Does it sound crazy to say I wanted like a good game for my birthday? Is that totally insane? Like that's obviously not what I asked for when I blew out my candles to my cake, but that's definitely, I'm grateful for that. Pensare Baseball. If I donate, will you buy a new cap? You should try to donate and find out so I can figure out who the hell tried to steal my identity. Pensare Baseball, dude, come on. I hope you're an admirer and not a stalker, but still, it creeps me out when people try to, you know, I don't know, like steal identity because sorry, basketball, but like, kind of weird. Don't know who you are. You're a faceless P on the internet, and you know, who knows? Who knows? Who knows what you are? You might be a disgruntled ex. You might be a fan. You might be the biggest hater. You might be another podcaster. The anonymity of the internet is the weirdest thing to me. So, shout outs to you, Jamal. The Shed said, Rob, if I donate, will you go out for a birthday dinner? Well, it's 11:50 at night, and it's not Las Vegas, so probably not. Okay, a lot of people asking how the birthday went. Not great, but also great. Kind of weird. I'm weird, so my birthdays are weird too. I didn't want to do anything for my birthday. That's the weird thing. I had plenty of options, plenty of people hitting me up saying, let's go here, let's throw you a party, let's do this. And I just didn't want to. I didn't want to, you know. My girlfriend's like, because we've been having this financial debate for like 3 years about saving money, being responsible. And I have this sort of rule where if she hasn't done super great with our financial goals, her financial goals on the season, on the year, I don't want her to get me a present. She loves to get presents. So it's kind of like depriving her of something she wants to do because she's actually the one who got me this mic, which is a really, really generous thing. She got me a PS5. Like, I think like the second year we were dating, she got me a PS5. So it's not like she's cheap. She is very generous. She would get you like $1 million gift if you let her. So to me, it's almost like, nah, we're in a tough economy right now. Trump, tariffs, all that stuff. I'm not trying to spend anything. I would rather you save and, you know, we can enjoy it later. And I think I spent a lot of today just kind of pontificating, ruminating, thinking about things that I haven't done properly. I definitely, you know, watched way too much TV today, you know, in the middle as I was kind of figuring out like how to start my day, how to do. And I did something really cool. It's a small one. You know, it's stupid. Prior to the pandemic, I used to be really big into the gym. I mean, if I showed you pictures of myself prior to the pandemic, I was in pretty damn good shape. In fact, I always keep this one just to remind myself that, you know, like there was a moment in time where I was in great shape. Like I was in good shape. I'm not in that shape anymore, but I was in good shape. And back when I was in this type of shape, I was benching 230 to 240 pounds. And then I went to the gym after the pandemic and I couldn't bench 150 and I was destroying myself. I was like, no, I've gone backwards. So yeah, it's led to a lot of anxiety around going to the gym. Right? It's led to a lot of anxiety about like going backwards, regressing. I hate the idea of losing things sometimes. And the truth is when you get older, you lose a lot of things. You lose people. You lose brain cells, you lose friends, you lose so much, right? You lose speed. You know, when I go to, you know, like I remember I had my first ankle injury when I turned 33, 34. You know what I mean? So today I went to the gym and I bench pressed the most that I have bench pressed since 2020. And yo, when I did that, I felt so proud. I was like, okay, damn, this is amazing. Let's do it. Right? Someone said Royd Rob damn. I have never taken steroids in my life. I'm pretty sure you're joking. Thank you. Appreciate you. Never. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Pure 100% natural. Never took any. The only supplement I took back when I was working out was whey. So I've been an athlete my whole life. And to me, looking down and, trying to lift weights and struggling to curl 45-pound dumbbells to me is fucking nuts. Yes, I do see the guy in the gym coming for the first time and he's lifting 15s, but that's not me. That's not who I've been. So it kind of messes up with your identity. And I'm used to being able to bench 200 plus pounds, and now I can't bench 200 pounds. But today, went to the gym, bench 200 pounds. And I was like, yes. And I did 10. Okay. It's not one of those like dinky little, benches. I got 10 in and I felt so good. So, anyways, humble brag. That was the best thing I did today. 10, 200 pounds. And that felt good. Another thing I did today was I wrote down my goals for the rest of the year. And it made me think about all the things that I didn't do last year. And there's a ton of things that I was looking at, like, last year, because I love my birthday. I love when it falls because it's before the new year and it allows me to reflect and fix things before I show up to the new year. And I try to meet the new year as the best version of myself every single year. I do my best. Doesn't always work. Sometimes it falls apart, but I do my best. And one of the things that, I thought to myself today was, as I was reflecting on my list from last year and I was reflecting on the last 10 years, why don't I share with the people that have meant so much to me, which is this community? Why don't I share with them things that I wish I knew when I was 30? These are pearls of wisdom. You can certainly take them or you cannot take them. It's really your prerogative. These are not necessarily basketball related, but some of them might be basketball sort of related. Things that I wish I knew when I was 30. I did not make a list. This is totally off the dome. Okay. Things that I wish I knew 7, 8 years ago. Number one, and this is a very important one. If you are single and you are looking for somebody, don't look at the looks. Don't look at the looks too much. I mean, if you find her repulsive, it ain't going to work. Fine. That's different. But don't think about the looks. Don't think about the money. Don't think about the job. Don't think about all that stuff. Think about who you are when you're with her. That's the first thing. Think about how your weaknesses and her weaknesses mesh together and how your strengths amplify each other. Think about that. Ask more questions. Think a lot of people, young dudes, when they go on dates, they're trying to impress her. Don't try to impress her. Don't try to impress her with the fancy car and all that stuff. Don't think about that. Ask questions. Ask loads of questions. For real. Ask questions, right? Ask questions about what she cares about, because that's what matters. Ask her what she does. Ask her about her family. Ask her about who she values, her most important relationships. This is going to tell you everything you need to know about her. And this is important. I hate to say it. I've been very superficial many times. I told myself I wasn't, but then I look at my exes and I'm like, God damn, what the fuck, attractive. And I think about people that I might have overlooked in my life. And I sometimes think to myself, I wish I had the confidence to date a woman that maybe my friends didn't think was super attractive or very impressive. Why was I so busy trying to impress other people? Because the most important thing that a person who's actually good for you and not just good looking to your friends and to people that you work with, what she's going to do is hopefully she's going to create peace. And that's something else I've learned, that peace is pretty much the most important thing in the world. Vegan Grass said, don't let your girlfriend hear this. Well, my girlfriend is attractive, so she will not take offense to this. Number one. Number two, I have told her this 150 times. I don't care. So, yeah, sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought. Can someone remind me what the hell I was saying like 2 seconds ago? Wow. Sorry, like the minute you said that, my mind totally tailed off into that. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Peace is everything. When you really look at it, peace and health are everything. The money will come back. The job you won't think about. The person in traffic that you're crashing out over all morning. The girl who left, the girl who cheated, that stuff. I mean, it's painful as fuck. It'll go away. I have never been cheated on as far as I know in my life. So I have no idea. I'm not speaking from experience, but to the people who, allow 2 years of their life to go in this wallowing self-pity, I promise you, the minute you get a cancer diagnosis, none of that shit's going to matter. Peace and health. When you don't have these two things, your life is hell. These are the most important things in the world. And they are very connected. Every single day that you spend in an environment that is not peaceful is bad for your health. Every day that you spend doing things that are unhealthy is bad for your peace. Chasing money at the expense of your spirit and soul is bad for your peace, also bad for your health. Smoking cigarettes, bad for your health. Later on, also bad for your peace. These two things are very related, and they are honestly the most important things in the world. Period. Point blank. Nothing. $1 million, not worth your peace. $1 billion, not worth your health. You're not taking it up. I promise you, you're not. You don't get to take it up. So don't devote your life to the frivolous, rat race of, I'll do it later. Speaking of which, I'll do it later. The fantasy of later very rarely ever comes true. And that works both for things you're afraid of and also things you're dreaming of. It's the nightmares and the dreams. The dreams, write them down and try to do them sooner. If possible, try to do them right away. Question your beliefs and your limitations. You know what I mean? Do you really, really want to go to Taiwan? And you have this idea that you'll go to Taiwan. I'll go to Taiwan when I'm 65. I'll go to Taiwan when I'm 65. Maybe it would be good to ask yourself, but what would happen if I went tomorrow? Right? What if? What would happen? Would I lose my job? Okay, cool. But maybe if I'm thinking about Taiwan and going to Taiwan 500 times a week, maybe I should just go and see what it's about. Explore, be curious. So that's the thing. But also, very many things that you're worried about are not even really things. They're not real. Like, you're worried about something. What if I go up to her and she rejects me? Or what if I ask for a raise and they fire me? And it's just like, you will spend 5 hours pontificating on what might happen when finding out would have taken 5 seconds. Why is it that we want to cautiously plan every single move? It's good to think slow, but sometimes it's good to think fast too. So know when to do both is very important. One more thing that I wish I knew in my 30s, early 30s, and I think Daryl would know this because Daryl has seen me crash out more than probably anybody here, quite frankly, because he saw me crash out on Facebook 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. He saw me crash out on YouTube subscribers, and probably make irreparable damage to my subscriber count. 2 years ago, around Christmas, right? Man, the Yakapurtle trade, how many subscribers did we lose on that? Like 300, 400? Those people are never coming back. They hate me. And that's cool. That's fine. But my point is, there was no need for that. There was a peaceful way to deal with that. I got so angry that I would get angry and get angry and get angry. And I would still think it's the same anger. So something that I wish that I knew when I was 30 and when I turned 30 is that the anger only lasts for 90 seconds. Here's what it is. Drop water, right, in a glass, right? Not in glass. Sorry. Throw a rock into a river, right? That's the thing that made you angry. The person who cut you off in the morning, the barista who misspelled your name, the person who cut in front of you in line, the boss who slammed you with like a total last minute assignment. That dude came into your office with his, Ralph Lauren polo, perfume, cologne, and said, "Hey, Steve, you mind staying for an extra 3 hours?" And then you thought, fuck, I got to call Lisa and tell her that I'm not going to make it for dinner. She's going to be mad at me. And this dude just ruined my weekend. And you know what happens? You take one stone and then you take another stone and then another stone, and another stone, and another stone. And then 8 hours later, you're still mad and you're cursing this guy's name. And now you're talking to somebody about your bullshit boss, and you're still getting mad, and you're still getting mad, and then you come into Monday and you see him and you're still mad. What happened? He did something. He threw a rock into a river. Then you took a rock, threw it into the same river. And then you took 5,000 rocks. And 5 days later, you're still throwing the rocks into the rivers. But if you want a way out of this, which is to say, if you want one thing to not ruin an entire weekend, here's a quick hack. Invest in a snow globe. You know those things that we used to have for Christmas and we shake them? Invest in a snow globe. And when somebody makes you angry, shake it. Shake, 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 shake for about 10 seconds. Set it down and watch it. And when you are watching it, breathe. Once that snow has settled in that snow globe, provided it takes about 75 seconds to fully settle, you will be calm. And it's all okay. And you just deal with it from a calmer place. And you don't need to be mad anymore. It can still be bullshit. There's millions of things that are bullshit. There's a lot of things that are, stupid in this world. There's a lot of things that are bad. They don't all make us mad, though, do they? So this phenomenon of just getting mad and mad and mad and madder, it's not like one 80-minute crash out. It's like 45 to 50 90-second crash outs back to back to back to back. That's what it is. That's what it is. Final thing that maybe I wish I knew when I was 30 or when I was turning 30. Compete with yourself. Don't compete with other people. I know that there is a temptation to measure yourself against what other people are doing, what other people are buying, what other people are investing in, how people did. And this is something that this rat race thing is, we're kind of trained from a young age to compare ourselves to other students, to our cousins, to our older brother, to our older sister, et cetera, et cetera. Your older brother made 8 free throws. You want to make 9 free throws. The kid in your class got, 13 A's. You want to get 14 A's. Someone ran, 10 seconds in this much time. You want to beat it by 0.5. I get it. Someone got 3 video games for Christmas. You want to find out if your parents love you enough to get you 4 video games for Christmas. I've been there. I know 100%, right? But honestly, it's misery. It's a lot of misery. It's a lot of misery. They say comparison is the thief of joy, and it truly is. It truly is. And comparing your path to somebody else's is never going to be good, right? It's never going to be good. You're always going to be miserable about it. And even when you win, you lose. And I think that may be my final point, is that there are certain ventures and certain situations in life where the only possibility is to lose. Defining the outcomes before you step into it is not rumination. It is not over pontification. It is not analysis paralysis. It's smart analysis. Okay. When I walk into a situation, say for instance, there is a conversation with a person that is extremely heated and very, very dumb, right? That person is very ignorant. They're not listening to anybody. And they are convinced that the earth is flat, right? I apologize. Give me 1 sec here. They are convinced the earth is flat. You are convinced, because you're not insane, that the world is not flat. You think to yourself, I'll convince this person that the earth is flat. I can convince this person the earth is not flat. I'm not, I can do this. And you get angry because how could someone be so stupid? They would allow this person to procreate, this person who thinks the earth is flat. So you start getting mad. You start getting mad at that person. Before you decided to get mad at that person, did you ever decide what are you hoping to accomplish? And is what you are hoping to accomplish worth what you might lose in this moment? What are you guaranteed to lose? Time. This person does not seem like they're about to change their mind. When you think the earth is flat, believe me, you've heard a lot of people try to convince you otherwise. You are not going to be the person to convince this person otherwise. Okay? If there's a person out there that thinks Benedict Mathurin is better than Scotty Barnes, I promise you, no amount of data convincing is going to convince that person otherwise. They are stuck in their ways, and that's okay. They're on a path. They're on a path. They're on a journey. It is surely a one-way path to a mental asylum, but that's okay. That's their path. Let them on that path. But have you ever thought to yourself, what's the best thing that can possibly happen here? The best thing that can possibly happen is that you waste 2 hours clearly owning a debate with a person who believes something that does not even matter. You're not talking a person off a cliff. You're not stopping a mass murderer from committing murder. No, what you're doing is you're convincing a person who thinks that the earth is flat, that the earth is not flat. Was this worth 2 hours? No. So in the best case scenario, you convince someone of something totally minute to get a win that doesn't impact your life in any way. And the worst case scenario is so much worse. The worst case scenario, you get frustrated, they get frustrated, they scream, you say things that you regret, you get into a bad mood, you bring it off, you then transmit that energy onto other people. So I leave you not with a lesson, but rather with a proverb, or not a proverb. I don't know what this is. This is something my uncle used to say, and this is really beautiful. And this is the final thing that I want to say to you guys, because I am not a life coach. I am not some wise person. I make a lot of unwise decisions in my day-to-day life, and I'm very, very happy that I do, because I learn from every single one of them. So I will say this. So my uncle used to tell me about this guy, and he introduced a story, and he said, there's this guy. I hope I don't fuck this up, because my uncle passed away, and rest in peace to my uncle. But he used to say, there's this man, and he said he tells this. Okay, I've fucked this up already. Reset, cut, restart. Okay, a man named William. I don't remember what his name is. Sorry. He goes into his office and he says to this coworker is having a fight with another person, la 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 la. And the coworker comes up to him, William. I have messed up the stories twice now. Okay, restart. Cut. Okay. Two men are having a fight. Okay, they're having a fight. They're having a debate over something. They go up to their third colleague, whose name is William, and they say, William, how would you settle this fight? And William says, I don't fight. And the man says to him, you've never had a fight. William says, I don't disagree with people. I don't argue. And he says, you're telling me that you've never argued? I bet you anything that you have absolutely argued with someone. And he said, my mistake. You are correct. I hope that I didn't mess that up. Shout out to my uncle for telling me that, like, when I was a kid. It always stuck with me as, like, whatever, you got it. My bad. You got it. Okay. Some of us can't let things go. I'm definitely someone who is in that realm of, like, maybe I should have heard the story 5,000 more times, given how I act sometimes. But yeah, feel free to ad-lib that, improv on that a little bit, punch that shit into ChatGPT, and have it rewrite that story a little bit better. I don't know where my uncle got it from, but I just remember hearing this a lot when I was younger, and he used to repeat himself sometimes, so he definitely told me that a few times. My memory is going to shit right now, so I'm not sure. But yes, I wanted to say thank you to this community. I don't want to get overly, like, emotional and sentimental about this, but I do want to say thank you guys for sticking it out with me, man. I haven't been the easiest person to listen to. Sometimes I have lives that are good-ish, and I'll listen to them back. And sometimes I have lives that are not the clearest, and I'm bringing a lot of personal stuff into it, and they're not always at a consistent time. And I'll say I'm doing this video, and then I don't do the video. Even though the video is sitting there 95% done, my analysis paralysis makes me not want to release the video. I'm a really strange content creator, and I want to say thank you guys for accepting me as I am, warts and all, and thank you for riding with me in this journey to getting better. I am definitely getting better. I know, I can feel it. I see it. In terms of how I deal with the chat, in terms of how I deal with dissenting opinions, callers that I may not agree with. I know that I'm working on it. I know I got a long way to go. So thank you guys for putting up with, Crash Out Rob to better version of that person to an improved version of that person. And I hope that you'll still be listening in 3-4 years and you can tell me that I've improved even more, So thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. And shout outs to me, Karen. Thank you so much. Like, honestly, I want to write you an email today or tomorrow and just thank you for that very, very nice e-transfer. Thank you so much. Cass, shout outs to you, man. Thank you so much. Pepperjack, as always, shout outs to the people who got the memberships. We are now up to 218 memberships, and I think Pepperjack has like gifted 50 of them or 40 of them. My dude is like on a heater right now. Like he is Steph Curry from the logo right now, gifting these memberships. So I appreciate you, and it's not lost on me just how much you're doing here. So thank you so much for that. Shout outs to everyone who got memberships. Pepperjack's gifting baller memberships, guaranteed comment response, Sunday show access. We'll do our Sunday show this week. It's gonna be interesting because we have back-to-back games Saturday, Sunday. So we'll find a way to probably do a late show on Sunday on a particular topic. The way the Sunday shows usually work is usually a particular topic or a particular player. There's a statistical trend. Maybe we'll evaluate like transition around the NBA. These shows are meant to be a little bit different, and they're definitely a lot more intimate. There's usually a call-in component, although most people don't call in. And yeah, there's usually a film component, a data component. So thank you. Reminder to everyone who got free memberships that your memberships run out 1 month from the date that they were gifted to you. If you would like to renew your membership, you can definitely do that. You can go in and just opt into it. I think it's in your YouTube, memberships area. You can, if you struggle with it, hit me up on an email. I'll help you figure it out. And some people, I'm not suggesting you do this because I feel like this is soliciting memberships. But some people have also gifted memberships back. So they got a gifted membership and then they gifted a membership. That's certainly a great idea at times. So shout outs to you guys supporting how you support. The homie Nick, thank you so much. Kihan, man, I really hope I'm saying that correctly. Thank you so much. Been around here forever. Prager, too, thank you so much. This is very generous of you. Thank you. And Miriam, William Chan, thank you so much. And Zigsaw member, happy birthday, Roberto. Thank you so much. And happy birthday, Rob. I hope you enjoy your special day. I did. I got to think. I got to lift some weights. And I will, Teacher Mike saying, check your DMs maybe tomorrow. Rob, I'm going to make you a few logo designs. Logo designs for what, man? For the hat? Yes, he's on the panel. I am on the panel tomorrow. That's going to be fun. My first panel episode as a 38-year-old. That should be fun. That should be really fun. Okay. Big win for the Raptors, man. Big win. Huge shot by Brandon Ingram. Huge play down the stretch for Scotty Barnes, BI. And big game for Jacoby Walters. Shout out to Jacoby for getting the chain. The final thing I'm going to do is, I want to get demonetized here, but a little bit of a treat for people who stuck around late. We're going to get to we're doing the post game shows. So we're going to get to Darko and BI. And I'm going to put a sheet up here for this, and we're going to listen to Darko Rajakovic, and I'm going to go get myself a glass of water.
So did you give any thought to calling a timeout on that last possession, or did you just want to
I did. On the first time when we on the miss shot, when we were running up the floor, I wanted us to just play. I did not want them to do subs and put different personnel there. At one point, it looked like we were getting a little bit stuck, and then I recognized the ball being in BI's hands, and I did not call it.
Seemed to be no hesitation from Emmanuel to give the ball to BI and say, it's your game? Is that what you want to do?
Everybody knows why BI is here and what he does for our team, and there is no secret there. And he's doing not just a great job of scoring in those situations, but also playmaking, and he showed that over and over this season as well.
On a night where shots weren't falling, how big were Scotty's 14 free throws? Not just getting there 14 times, but not being there.
Big time. Scotty, some big plays down the stretch, blocking shots, rebounding the ball, scoring, and then, as you said, 14 for 14 from the free throw line. If he goes 12 for 14, it's a different game tonight. So it was huge for us tonight. And also, I got to point out that Jacoby did a really, really good job today, and he was the guy that really gave us an energy there and kept us in the game when things were not going our way.
Jacoby seems like he's settling into a really nice two-way groove this last game. What do you make of that? Is it just him healthier, more confident, or the shots? Seeing the shots go in?
I think it's a lot of things, right? First of all, he's the kid that puts a lot of work in. He's getting better opportunities there. He knows that we have his back, and he's our product of this organization. So he understands the culture and how we want to play, importance of defense, and he brings that juice to the team every day. So really, really happy for him.
You guys ran quite a few different plays down the stretch for mostly BI, but also for Scotty. When it comes down to it, just being able to, you guys try a bunch of stuff, it doesn't work that well, but then at the end of the game, it's just nothing. It's just go get a bucket. How much of a luxury is it to have a guy like that?
Big luxury. That's why he's getting paid money. He's getting paid.
Could you have an update on Grady Dick?
Grady is feeling fine. We just kept him out of precaution there. We did not want to risk anything, but he's feeling fine. So we'll update you guys more when we find out more.
What satisfaction do you take? I mean, you guys have won so many different games in so many different ways. But you win one. I don't think you won one where you only scored 97 points or shot 35% or 38%. I mean, what does that tell you about your team?
And it's resiliency when things are not going our way to stick together, to continue finding ways. We're shooting from the field 38% and only 19% from the three-point line. And
I just want to stop this to say I'm so happy he said what he said about Jacoby, and also, I love the praise for BI. That's awesome. A lot of people, I'll be honest, man, a lot of people really sold their Brandon Ingram stock. I did not. I was very happy about the trade. Very excited about what he's doing here. It's amazing. Amazing.
To still win the game, in NBA, it's really, really hard. And I thought that Indiana played really good game of basketball tonight as well.
You also got, now you're going to have a home game in the tournament. You're going to play that quarterfinal here. What do you think that's going to feel to your guys and to the franchise?
I think it's a great opportunity, right? It's an opportunity for us to play a game early in the season that gets you somewhere, that has more meaning than just a regular season game. So obviously there is a lot of time until we play that game, but it's gonna mean a lot. I think that this city and the love that we are feeling and receiving and our fans, it's gonna be another festival of basketball here.
Obviously, a lot of things outside of your control have, I guess, contributed to the Raptors losing a lot of games since you've been coach here. How does it feel to be not only the second seed in the Eastern Conference, but winning 9 straight and having an extremely strong start to the season?
I mean, it's a hard question to ask, to answer, because definitely we feel happy and prideful and all of that, but at the same time we understand that there is so much more basketball in front of us, and we also know how much work that we put in, so into this work. So with that amount of work, you have kind of expectations to do well and play well. Obviously, when you don't, you get disappointed. But once you're winning, it feels good, and it's also motivation for us to see what is the next level for us, how far we can go, how far we can improve. And we're constantly focusing on that. Thank God we have an amazing group of players that playing together, they like each other, they have good chemistry, and that's a great start for us.
Has the start of the season made you want to reevaluate what the ultimate level could be for this group of guys?
Absolutely not. We're just taking it one game at a time. We're just focusing on the next game. We want to compete every single night against any opponent over there. And our goal is very clear this year. We want to continue growing and improving, and that's the goal for the season. We are serious people. We're not just going to move the target just like that in the middle of the season.
A lot of close games lately against teams that, maybe don't have great records coming in. Do you feel like with the wins now piling up, you're getting the best shot from the other teams you're coming across? And how is that, kind of working into your favor to kind of help, fine-tune things?
And this league is very, very competitive, and there is no such a thing like, playing a game that you know that you're going to win, or you believe that you should be getting a win. It's hard. It's very, very hard to win every single night, and that's been proving over and over in this league. And plus the number of games and amount of travel that we have, it makes it hard on our guys, on their bodies, on their mind. We're really trying to do everything in our power to recover guys, to get them ready for next games. But it's a long season. We're going to have ups. We're in the middle of one. We're gonna have downs.
I think this is what I'm pointing at when I talk about. I think the Raptors might lose one of those games on the weekend. That's not an indictment on the Raptors. That's just more of like, when you play this well for this long, it's exhausting. You don't have letdown games. You've had rough games, tough games, close games. You haven't had like a smooth ride. Do you know what I mean? Like, smooth rides are when you blow a team out by 40 in the first half and you start to sit the second half. That's a smooth ride. Your best players are grinding. Brandon Ingram is playing defense. Like, he's not a defensive player, so he's not used to putting in the work on both ends like this. And at some point, those jumpers are just going to fall short, and all this effort, all the transition, all the pace, everything that you're doing, all the defensive effort, you're just going to fall apart. And that's probably going to result in a 2-3, 2-4 type of stretch over 6 games. And everyone's going to be like, oh my God, the Raptors are fake. No, the Raptors are very real. They're a very good basketball team. And this is an 82 game season. And on that 82 game season, you're on track to win 60 games. Okay. You're not going to win 60 games because that would be crazy. You're probably going to win closer to 50 games because you're going to sustain a couple lows at some point. But who knows, man? Shit. You might win 52. You might win 54. You might win 48. What I know for sure is you're going to beat that Vegas preseason over-under by like at least 9. And that to me is a mega success. I don't care about the wins and losses. I care that you're playing your best basketball, when the season matters. Also, I got to tell you, some people are telling me about the Ringer Top 100. I just perused the list while I was listening to Darko. I might have to do a bonus pod right after this one to just react to that list, because this list is criminally insane. It's worth talking about the top 100 players this far into the season. I might have to think about it. I might do it tomorrow, but there's a good chance I might just breathe for like 20 minutes and just say, fuck it, I'm doing it at 1 a.m. I might. And then you guys will just get it tomorrow morning. I don't know. I'm not trying to keep everyone up super late. There's obviously some things I also have to do. I have an editing gig that I took on a couple of weeks ago to get me through the finish line on the mortgage, get as close as I possibly can. Probably not going to make it, but going to do my best. So yeah, there's a lot of work I have to do, and maybe the best thing to do is to work and then go to sleep. But this Ringer Top 100 list is kind of crazy. But nevertheless, let's get back to the end of Darko Rajakovic, and then hopefully we get to Brandon Ingram as well.
Very important to look at it as a whole, and this like 82 games to make it a journey, and go from there.
Obviously, Brandon's going to get a lot of attention for hitting the shot at the end of the game, but on that last defensive possession, Yak came over and made the block. I was just wondering, what you saw there.
For sure, that was a big block from Yak. I think it's obvious every time that he's on the floor, he helps us so much offensively and defensively. We're still trying to figure out like his rotations. Is he playing 3 stints, longer stretches? Sometimes that depends on our opponent as well. But he was huge for us down the stretch, and he's just like on the offensive end. He also just calms us down, gets us organized, and that's big luxury for us to have.
Thank you.
Big facts.
You had a few one-on-one situations.
It's Brandon Ingram.
Pascal down the stretch. You got him a few times. There was the one time where you were sort of floating and shot off balance and missed. When when you get all of that information on a defender, what's going through your mind when you get that, you know, what might be the last chance?
Well, first I knew he was in foul trouble, and I knew he didn't want to be overly aggressive, so he was at my mercy at that point, and just wanted to be super aggressive.
Damn, at my mercy. Yeah, he was.
I saw him kept backing up, and, you know, I just kept being aggressive and getting to my spots.
Darko said after the possession before, he considered calling a timeout and then saw you had the ball and was like, I'll let you guys play it out. What does that sort of confidence from your coach mean?
Yeah, it means a lot, you know. He, like I said, he's the leader of our team. He brings the energy every single day, and he's been very transparent with what he wants on the basketball floor. So for him to let the go-ahead basket go, you know, it's confidence for me, but it's trust. It's trust between the two.
This team really struggled at the end of close games last year. You got to watch some of those towards the end. How encouraging is it to not just see that you guys are executing on the offensive end in those situations, but like Scotty forcing that backcourt violation, Yak with the block. I mean, you and Scotty have had blocks at the end of close games. To be doing it on both ends of the floor, what does that say about this team?
Well, no matter the age, I think we're maturing by each game. Executing down the stretch, like you said, it's not only on the offensive end, it's on the defensive end first, and everybody is doing it collectively. You see Jacoby Walters out there playing defense, Yak in the middle, Scotty doing what he does on a nightly basis, and Quick on ball defense. So you know, everybody is contributing in a big way, from the starters to the bench.
That's, I guess, game winner, first one as a Raptor. How's it feel?
It feels great. It's practice for, like I said, our end goal and what we want. We continue to try to execute early in the season. We're going to have some times where we succeed, and we're going to have some times where we fail, but we're going to learn in both ways.
You've been on a team that's made it to Vegas.
Quick thing. Teacher Mike, shout out to you. That's TR Mike right here. Said, let the chat vote. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up for the 325 of you that are here, for the likely 250 of you that are still awake. And we're going to vote to see if you guys like this logo. So Teacher Mike came up with the logo on the right. I retorted, I think it's a little too close to not Pensare Basketball, Thinking Basketball. And also to just let everyone know, pensare means to think in Italian. So I literally already mean thinking basketball. So I wanted to stay away from bulbs, but it's a dope logo. It's very cool. It's obviously a lot, cleaner than my logo right now, which I totally designed like a non-design person. So you let me know if it's cool. I'll actually set up the poll. New logo, old logo, too close, not close, etc. While Brandon Ingram completes his.
I guess for the NBA Cup. I'm just curious, what do you think it does for this team to be, in the mix for that, to be potentially able to, go there and have that experience?
It builds confidence. It's a kind of sort of an early playoff game, trying to battle for something. But like I said, it's all experience for what we want.
You were, that's about as animated maybe as we're going to see. Is that what it takes to get a game winner for you guys all jumping up and down?
I guess I have a lot of moments like that, especially with the fans that's in the arena. Yeah.
Can you give us the clean version of what you said after international?
I said, this is why I'm here. That's the cleanest I can say.
You mentioned having moments like that with the fans. And on Media Day, you talked about how excited you were to be playing in front of full arenas and for a team where fans show up no matter what. A month into it, has it kind of been what you expected in terms of interacting with the fans here, people in the crowd, the atmosphere in the arena, all that?
Absolutely. Every single night, no matter who we're playing, all the seats are filled up. You hear the crowd during the starting lineup throughout the game, and they fuel us.
Obviously, you guys are a big win streak right now. What do you feel like is clicking the most for you guys?
I think everybody just being there for each other, on the defensive end especially. Learning on the offensive end, just trying to get the best shot for the team. And we just play one game at a time. The streak is great, but we don't look too much into it. We just try to look at the next opponent and see how we can do our best against them. So I think just taking it a game at a time.
I like that he always mentions that. Like, we're not thinking about, we got bigger goals, etc. The Toronto Raptors in 2018, 2019 Raptors, they were like that too. They didn't really care about regular season too much. Regular season was just tune up and practice for the big dance. And I feel like, that's a good mentality to have, to not sweat the small stuff, to not sweat the 2-point game here, 2-point game here against the Wizards, and just to keep your eye on the prize. I think that's very important in life. Also think it's pretty important that they do celebrate the small stuff. Like, they do celebrate the small wins. That's also important. So the Raptors are finding the perfect blend of locking in and also looking forward. I like it.
What is your role in, I guess, reminding the younger guys of that? Darko mentioned, like, these wins, they don't change your ultimate goal. You're mentioning that too. You've been on a Pelicans team that was in the first seed for the first half of the season. What do you tell the guys to keep them on track and make sure that you have the right frame of reference?
Get a routine and stick to it. Stay in the moment, stay present. And every game, we're gonna need every single body. So everybody gotta stick to the routine and come and bring effort every single night.
Thank you. Thanks, Brandon.
Okay, that's dope. Okay, so shout outs to Teacher Mike. Shout outs to our poll. We'll definitely continue on with that. I have no idea if I want to do a Ringer Top 100 React. I tend to not like those types of videos because I don't like, I don't like giving oxygen to things that are stupid, because I know that these articles are written specifically for content creators like me to react to it. I think that where they have the two Raptors best players is very low. I think it's evident that Bill Simmons runs the Ringer, right? So I don't know. How do I feel about it? Exactly. It's your birthday. Gift yourself with a sustainable logo for merch like that one. Pensare Basketball, unless the Pacers B logo. Okay. Put a B in the bottom right corner. Oh, that's interesting. It's like Pensare Basketball. It is very neat. It is very neat. And it probably would, if I'm being honest, if it does remind me of the Pacers logo though. I'm looking at it a lot and it's like, maybe it's the colors. I really like the lime green. Some people don't, obviously. I like the lime green. Lime green to me signifies like something clean. Plants are that color. I just love that. So that's just me. But I will 100% concede. I do not think our logo is very good. I think any person with a design background would look at our logo and say, did you get someone on Fiverr who was, 16 years old to design this? And to that, I'll say, no, I designed it. And I'm very proud of it. But obviously, as the podcast has grown, a rebrand wouldn't be the worst idea. It wouldn't be the worst idea. I do like lime green, though. Yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. I very much doubt I'm going to do a react video. I'll probably think about it for like 10 minutes. And if I come to the conclusion that I don't want to do it, I'm just not going to do it. Yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Should I just do it right now? Like, should I just do it at the end of this live to kind of reward the people who are already here with my thoughts on why I think shit is so stupid? Maybe I should. I don't know what to do. Okay, you know what, Pepperjack? You decide. You decide, sir, because you are a VIP member who has pretty much gifted like 40 memberships by yourself. I cannot even, I can't even keep track of your, I can't even keep track of your financial contributions to this channel at this point. And you have never hit me up on one of those emails for like a video. So why don't you let me know? If you think I should do it, I'll do it. If you think I shouldn't, I won't. Okay? It's on you. It's your channel right now, Pepperjack. I'm just the host. Okay? So you let me know. Split it into a different. If it's up to me. Then okay. Okay, if I run a poll, I will guarantee you 100%, 100% that people will say yes. So what you're telling me is basically ask the people. And now the people are saying do it. So, okay, cool. I am going to end this stream and I will be back at, it is 12:40, right? 12:40. I'll be back at 1 a.m. I'll be back at 1 a.m. Give me 10 minutes. I'm gonna grab a, what is it? Yeah, I'm gonna grab a drink. I'm gonna be back at 1 a.m. Okay. See y'all. Peace. And if you miss it, catch it in the morning. It's not gonna be super long. It's gonna be like 25 minutes. I'll give you my thoughts on 100 players real quick. And Lord help me, if I do not see more than 2 Raptors on the list, I'm gonna snap. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. No coffee. No, my friend. No coffee at 12:40 in the morning. Although, as I say that, I'm realizing I drank a coffee at 11 p.m. last night to get my mind awake for the playback stream, and then I was up at 5 a.m. So, yeah. All right. W Pepperjack, indeed. Pepperjack is the reason you get a 1 a.m. live stream. It is no longer my birthday at this point, so the excuse of enjoy your birthday does not even suffice. If I'm being honest, my birthday was yesterday. First of all, I was born in Europe. I was born in Split. So I was born in Split, Croatia. My birthday ended like 7 hours ago in Croatia. So that's the way I look at it. All of my friends who are from back home from Yugoslavia, I always wish them at 6 p.m. the previous day. Almost always when I remember. It's always between 6 and like 9. So it's like a little cheat, cheating way to get ahead of everybody. I'm just like, nope. Vegan Grass said it's still your birthday in Vancouver, which would matter very much if I was born in Vancouver, which I was not. I think it matters where you were born. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. See y'all in 20 minutes. I'm going to make a quick thumbnail and set up the live, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to give myself a break. All right, peace. Thank you.